What if I tell you it's boom time? Let's do it.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
Do you see what I see? Oh, I see it. Do you see it? Do you see what I see? I see. I see a sign. I see a JG clock. Destroy JG clock with time non-changing on JG Earth. And I see a squeaky Earth. But first, I must share the show on Discord. So if you are part of a Discord server, Twitter, Facebook, all the good shenanigans, and you would like to share the show, now is time for you to share the show. Do you see what I see? I see squeaky earth. I don't only see it, I hear it loud and clear. And that makes me happy, happy, happy. Please. Oh, I got a surprise for you. You see what I see? It is one letter under in this shirt. There is one letter and one letter only. One letter. How do you say it? How do you pronounce that? Letter. Una letra in this shirt. You must win if you type that letter in the chat. So please, please boom like under this stream if you're watching this live or recorded. I will really appreciate that if you like this stream. If you share, that would be fantastic and awesome. And if you can support, and I hope that you can support me via PayPal, there's a PayPal link pinned in the chat box. Also, you can find it in the description box. So please, please consider doing so. Earth is Life is the big winner. Arr! Boom! Shout out to Earth is Life. Look at that. See, you're the man. You're the man. Earth is Life. You're the man. It's nice and warm over here. Nice and warm in Florida today. I still got this little sweatshirt because just in case, give myself, it's not hot like it should be, but it's okay. I can take this weather. It is our Earth is Life, man. You're the man. You big brainy man, bro. Thank you for being here. Farmer's Boy, you got that right. My target for today was to have 725 subscribers, and we were sitting today at 737. That is awesome, man. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support. You can see the count, the count over here. You don't see the viewers count because it's too bright. Squeaky Earth is messing up with Squeaky Earth is messing up with the viewers count over there, but we're gonna have that. Gonna need R for that shirt. Yeah, that's awesome. No, but I really, really thank you guys. Big support. If you are new and watching this stream for the first time, or you've been watching for a while but you never type anything on the YouTube chat box, please jump in YouTube, pop in, say boom, say hello, say what's up, like hello, I'm new. I like when people say hello, I'm new. And then you will get a wrench. Would you like your name to be blue? Have you never typed in this chat box where there are one thing that you can do? Go in the chat box and type in something and you will be blue. I want to say shout out to Joe Mongoose. Joe Mongoose is first. Or is he? Oi, oi, RT96. John Hawkins. Cuso, Puerto Rico. Let's see how this name will come out. This is the level of energy that I will feel. If I can get a nice high pitch in his last name, then we're good. Shout out to Martin. Oh, that has some resonance in it. I like that. Shout out to you, Martin. Howard Moore, kaboom. Zebulon 181. And when I shouted out RT96, shame on me. RT96. There you go. Citizen 9. Yeah, Citizen 9. Surprise, boom. I scheduled the show like 15 minutes ahead. I didn't do the 30 minutes, warning. So it's good. We good. We got Farmer's Boy in the house. Earth is live. John Hansen, Devil's Advocate, and we good. 263 subscribers to go. Let's do it. John Watson, I need to fart. Oh, you might have heard that. Well, I am in the open. I am in the open public right here. So that wouldn't linger for too long, It's good to fart in the natural areas. So fucked up. Why do I have to mess up the show like this? We got a poll on the YouTube chat box, and the poll is: Would you rather have a slow educational show, like slow educational show where you hear people just talk, 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 and you just falling back, just giving you all these big numbers and equations and very educational? Would you rather have a fast non-educational show? Like everybody like and we learn nothing. Will you rather have a no holds barred unmoderated show? All in. I'll just open the Discord, I just mute myself, or just be a part of the shit show unmoderated. I wouldn't, that's one option. Or would you rather have a boom time JG style show? And the boom time JG style is what we have all been witnessing and being a part of for the past 3+ years. It is a entertaining, sometimes educational, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's shit show, sometimes it's not. Many dumpster fires, but with water close, buckets of water very close to dropping in the dumpster fire. So boom style, that's where we're going. We're winning. Yeah, we don't need to change anything. It's kind of a silly, but I just want to hear the feedback. As for right now, out of 20 votes, most of the people think a boom time, JG style show is what we've been doing. Just having an open platform, an open place for people to come in and hang out from different walks of life, different races, ages, and everybody can come in and be heard. And I will be there for you, for the conversation to be fair, equal, and balanced. It will be entertaining. we will have a little bit of education. We're gonna have a lot of derp. We're gonna have a lot of nonsense, but it is fun, you know. It is always fun. So I'm gonna go to Discord and see if anybody would like to join. Now I need to switch to do one clickety click over here, and we'll be right back. I was hey, LeFlane is in the house. What's up, LeFlane? How you doing, brother?
Good morning, Jose. How are you?
Morning, sir. All is good. All is good.
Sir, I'm just trying to get home before the weather hits.
Oh shit! How is it looking weather-wise for you?
Well, the winter storm warning is just west of where I live, so yeah, I need to get my load back on and get to the house so I can avoid it.
Is there no snow where you drive around?
Oh yeah, southern Texas, southwest Texas will get snow, and you wouldn't think so, but yeah, it snows pretty good down there. And Oklahoma City, northern Texas, New Mexico. So yeah, I'm subject to getting some pretty bad weather here in the winter.
All right. That's good then. But now it gets slippery, right? I mean, depends on the type of snow. If it's been raining before, if it's this wet little snow and really cold, so sometimes the road get tricky, eh?
Yeah, it gets extremely hazardous. And some guys will say, "Oh, I got to get a pullover and put on chains." They carry chains on their truck. But my philosophy is, if you need change, you need to park.
Yeah, fucking A with a big ass truck, you know, on the road going fast, and yeah, not safe. Yeah, pull up for a little bit. It's not going to be more than a few hours, maybe, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's much better to get home late than not get home or kill somebody else. Yeah,
that's true, bro. Fucking A. Good times, man. But you for the weekend now, or you still got a few days to go?
No, I go reload. I'll go ahead and get my load on for next week, and then I go home for 2 days. Then I'll leave back on Saturday and do it all over again.
Woo wee! That's cool, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Crow XC, what's up?
Hello, people. How are you?
Can I start calling you Croxy? Croxy?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks, man.
Do I have a lot of background noise?
No, it's good.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, cool. I have a lot of kids at home.
Yeah, I don't hear anything in the background. It's good.
Okay, not mine, of course. Thankfully.
Yeah. LeFlane, what do you think? When we have a JG style show, a boom time, I think it will encompass everything above in the first three options. You agree with that, or you in disagreement?
No. I do agree. Yeah, the good JG style, slightly moderated, elevated tension. Yeah, it makes for a good show.
Good. Yeah, and sometimes it gets slow and educational. It does happen. Sometimes it get really fast and non-educational. You know, we got the Scattered Groningen and all this shit. We got the Lemons and the Bryans and all that shit. And then sometimes I just say, like, you know what? I just put my hands up. Fuck it, just all in. You know, we got a different flavors and different, throughout the show. I think that's good to have it that way.
Yep, it's a very diverse but fair platform.
Good. Yeah, it will get to, I think, too tedious if we get a whole show, if we get everybody like really shouty and yelling and very profanity and me just laying back. That would be unfair. Or if one or two people, I mean, they just want to have a slow talk and talk very deeply into the meticulously mechanics and the science, it can get really boring too, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are many channels that do that. You know, they got the slow educational stuff, and hey, more power to you. That's good. That's why we have a place like this, so we can have a little bit of everything, you know.
Yeah. And there's good comes out. I mean, when I see these arguments and I'm wanting, I would like some conclusion or resolution to some issues, but that's not going to come. We've been in it for how many years now, and there are no concessions, so to speak. But you have to remember that there are people listening, forming an opinion about each other's argument.
Exactly, and I think that's the most important. I say, like, it doesn't matter if I'm not gonna change your change your mind or the ideas that I have, and I want you to accept it and say yes, you're correct. No, that's probably not gonna happen. But by me giving you my side of the story and my points of view, and this is how I arrived to this conclusion. This is what I have to present you. And if the other person don't want to give anything, provide anything, well, then the audience is here to learn and decide. If they're here to have a laugh, beautiful. If they're here to learn, they say, let me hear his side of the story. But if the guy only have some you full of shit, you fucking cunt. I mean, they say like, yeah, of course, hands down, he don't got shit. But if you really bring a good point from one side or another, then that's the audience that's like, you know what? He actually making good points. So this is not for me to change your mind. It's for the audience to listen, and then you do your check mark on who do you think got the better points, and if you learn something, cool, you know.
And I've learned a lot. I mean, you know, we have these keystone topics like refraction and of course gravity gets hammered in the ground and lots of, you know, it's a variety of topics that I've gained significant knowledge just by hanging out and listening.
Good, man. I have learned a lot, you know. I just always 100% of the time I am multitasking. As for I'm have attend to the chat box because I don't want to leave anybody out. Yeah, I'm talking to you, we're talking to each other, but I'm keeping an eye on the chat box, and that's the whole idea, to bring everybody together. So I'm not here to learn and be the voice of reason at the end of the day and say like, no, what I say goes. That's not my style. I'm here to also learn along the way and take the journey with everybody in the chat box and in the call. You know, I'm here as a member of the audience, while trying to bring, you know, a little bit of equilibrium to the discussion and try not to make everybody go crazy over each other and killing each other and shit, you know.
Yeah, you do a good job too, Jose.
Thanks, man. A lot of people complain. They say, Jose, you know this argument. You heard this so many times. I said, yeah, but I'm paying half of attention of what you're saying. I'm actually here more to just for the good times, for the hangout with people I like, you know. That's the whole idea for me.
Well, the flat earth is about how people form ideas and come to conclusions. The flat earth is simply a proxy for how people, you know, formulate other conclusions about other, you know, propositions or other truth-based statements. You know, why do you think that, you know, this is true or that is true? You know, what goes into that, and what's the logic or the reasoning behind that?
You hear that, Lemon? You hear?
What's that?
Do you hear the sirens?
I hear something in the background, yes.
Yeah. When you began talking, the sirens went crazy. Welcome to Florida, USA. Let's say hello to Farmer's Boy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you have your dinner at this time? Brian Mabbott usually have his dinner at this time.
I tend to eat a bit earlier,
and then you got your cup of tea at this time.
I knew there was something bloody missing. I'm going to have to go and put the kettle on. Yes, I haven't.
Damn! I just implanted that in your brain.
No, well, I'm still busy working, and that's the other problem. You make yourself a cup of tea, and you drink some of it, and you come back to it later, and of course it's gone stone cold because you've been so busy you forgot you had a cup of tea.
Right.
I knew there was something wrong with this picture. There's no tea. I must go and fix that. And
thank you for reminding me, because yesterday's goal was to to try to reach 725 subscribers, and we are sitting 737 now. So very
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good. Man.
you blew past that, but yeah, I made a note just in case. But as soon as I sort of clicked on the link, I thought, oh right, he's gone past that. That's okay then.
That's good, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, that's good going.
Good times, good times. Let's ask Mr. 42. Are you there? What's up, man?
What's up? I'm here, just lurking a little bit.
Good, good. Have you put up any new videos lately?
I had one yesterday. Yes.
Yes.
Nice. I don't know, man. Shame on me, but I don't think I'm subscribed to you because I don't recall
That
seeing
is
it.
a shame.
Mr. 42. Let's see what I can find.
You should go stand in the corner.
And
being
you just
ashamed.
look at that. I just typed Mr. 42 on YouTube and a channel with 1.4 subscribers come up with a blue face. Is that you?
1.4K. 1.4 subscribers is a bit strange.
1.4K. 1.4K subscribers.
That sounds better. Yeah, that's me.
All right. You know what? I just subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so I can
Awesome,
go
thank you.
and pop in your chat box and say boom every once in a while, man.
Boom.
Good times, good times. So what do you think? The style that I do my shows, interesting? Do you find it like it could? I mean, I like feedback. What do you think could change? Even though I'm probably not going to change, but I like getting criticism. You know?
I think my opinion is pretty clear since I'm here more than once.
Right. Yes.
But to give a more in-depth response, it is different from a lot of other shows, and that makes it unique. So I think you should keep that.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, and I am not actually among a handful of people. I'm not very popular because I actually allow people to speak their minds, and even though for myself and others is a bunch of bullshit what they're saying, that doesn't make that still doesn't make it fair for me to cut him down, shut him down, block him, kick him, and mute him, and none of that shit. Even though if they are wrong from my point of view, I still want to give a platform for people to come in and voice what they think about the topic and shit like that. And that's not very popular. Like, I think Bob is an example. Dr. Bob, how you doing, man? I don't think I'm very popular with Bob sometimes because I actually let these guys, I give him a little piece of rope and they just keep pulling. They take the whole roll of rope. How you doing, Bob? What do you think, man?
Not bad, Jose. No, I don't have any problem with you doing it at all. I mean, if Lemon or one of these other guys are coming in here and just carrying on, if I don't feel like dealing with it, I just don't hang around. I just leave. It's not a big deal.
That's it. And I don't blame you. And that's true. And sometimes I used to tell you, like, Bob, then, like, what the hell? You tell him to shut up. Get the fuck out of here. We had some little bit of bumping heads, but all in good spirit, or it's part of kind of the vibe that we get in that day. But you got it down. You come in hot sometimes. You want to make your points. Oh, you don't have anything? Then, chefs, I don't need anything to talk to you. And I see that you just dropped from the call. I said, yeah, good call, man. Blue does it sometimes. Farmer's Boy, you take off sometimes. They're like, nah, I'm going to listen to this guy out. It's good. You got options.
Well, Jose, life's short, man. Life's short. And I'd much rather clean out my cat box than listen to Lemon go on with his chanting and liturgy.
Well, the good thing about this discussion is it's commoners like myself stepping up to the supposed experts and just, pointing out, some common sense stuff. I mean, a lot of times experts, say, shut up, you're too dumb, you don't know what you're talking about. But, it just is a common sense thing where everybody can come together and pool their resources and their mental power to solve the problem of what is the shape of the earth? Is it, a nihilistic globe going through black reaches of Greek pagan space, or is it a flat surface transcendently created by a creator covered by a dome like a terrarium on pillars on top of a watery deep, under the waters above, under the heavenly throne of God? It's a clash of the minds, if you will, a very interesting discussion.
It's a bull.
Like I said, Jose, you have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Thank you. Blue, Blue's gone. Blue, hello, go, goodbye. Damn.
Well, wasn't that
He'll
just
be
a string of bollocks? I don't blame
Uh,
him.
Let's say hello to Gary C. Chike, right?
Yep. Hello.
The C
I
stands
wonder.
for Chike.
Yes, he's for shy.
You keep coming, Shike. You keep coming. Sometimes I feel bad because you actually don't have a lot of opportunity to talk to some of the guys that you want to talk to with the opposite view. Do you feel let down? Do you feel that I'm like ignoring you or something? Because it is what it is, you know. Sometimes I mean, it just happens.
I don't feel I can't talk to anybody. I just wonder when did the Lemon come with something that it makes sense at all?
We all do. We all make sense in our own way.
No.
I make sense to myself, even though I got a lot of nonsense in my brain and my ideas too. I think that this is what makes sense to me. That remote control robot, like little car with tiny feet and boots, like little boots with the little lines under the boots, was sent to the moon. A rocket landed on the moon, and they drove this little car down, and that's what made the little steps on the moon that look like human steps. But it was a remote control car with tiny feet instead of wheels. That makes sense to me.
Okay,
Well,
that's
even
not
in
very far
science,
from the truth.
well, even in science, there's a bunch of stuff that is quite theoretical, even wooey. I mean, look at the cult of quantum mysticism, talking about action at a distance and stuff like that, spooky action at a distance. Some of this stuff is very, esoteric wooey stories that even science says simply to power exploration and experimentation and go forward and hopefully find a result. It's like a guiding story, to help them go forward and power their experiments in the hopes of finding, the stories or, what they're, looking for in these stories they talk about with spooky action at a distance or whatever.
Yeah, and Lemon makes a good point there, and I agree with him that these fringe sciences that are on the cutting edge of undiscovered things in an attempt to make discoveries, that's where we find new stuff and we get better understanding of reality and our world around us. But the flat Earth, they take that where these guys admit that we're making best guess, we're doing our best to understand these things that we don't currently understand, and they just think that it's crazy because they do that, and I think that's kind of dishonest.
Well, it's just a different interpretation of the same evidence. When you look at a questionable NASA photo, you see what appears to be a globe, but I see a curved and barrel distorted, deceptive picture of reality that doesn't quite reflect the flatness. I see flatness that is curved and barrel distorted or CGI distorted. So we're seeing the same thing, you and I. But we have a totally different interpretation based off of the story that we've told ourselves. You told yourself that NASA is a credible, organization, and that lenses don't barrel distort enough to, go past the actual curvature of the Earth. I beg to differ.
Well, see, when I'm looking at an image analyzing refraction or which is, that's obstruction, or I don't even think about NASA.
Well, Lemon, if I look at the picture that has structures that I know to be straight and look straight in this picture, and the only thing that doesn't look straight is the Earth in the background, I know it's not Bell distortion.
That's not quite accurate. Most of the distortion happens further away from the lens. And so up close, it may look passable, but in the distance, it may look like a nightmare.
That's a total bullshit.
Damn. Shots fired.
Look, show me a picture when you see Bell distortion in the background, but don't see it in the foreground. Go
You
make my
see it with
day.
any fisheye lens. Now, the
No,
curvature
I
of the
told
fisheye
you.
lens is extreme, but with other lenses that are less curved, you get less extreme curvature, which means a slower, barrel distorted, curvature rate toward the further distance, surely. But that
No.
curvature would still be there, just in a smaller amount. So I'm sorry, sir, but your logic is questionable and quite specious. And based off of that, I'm going to have to reject your claim.
Sure, you have to reject it because I told you I have a fisheye lens in my door, and people who stand close to the door are distorted, and I see the background distorted all the same. There is no difference.
No difference, eh?
Not at all.
I remember I went a while ago that I went to Clearwater Beach, and I just found, yes, I was showing to the audience over here on my camera a bunch of mini SD cards that I got here from observations that I done. I was looking for a video for the Stingray, and I found one that I didn't realize last time that I went to Clearwater Beach over here in Florida, and I took a bunch of random pictures. They're really cool, man. I want to share that with you guys. You can see like really cool pictures. Some of them. Oh, I've been shooting, but let's see if I can share over here with you. In the back, it's gonna be playing. It's gonna be scrolling some pictures in the background. So hopefully, I can screen share. This one, it is a window of photos. I took some video clips and some photos. But there look like some of them look like cars, like those little cars that you buy. You get the sandy beach. You get some buildings in the background. There are some video clips. I don't want to play video clips, but the actual pictures. What we get? Actually, it looks cool.
B-Ball is posting evidence for concave Earth.
B-Ball is nice. Look at that picture. That picture is cool, man.
Yeah.
Even this picture actually is cool. This guy like all in checking on the. Is anybody drowning? Oh, no. Okay. Welcome to Clearwater Beach, ladies and gentlemen. This is a long bridge, man. I want to go here one day to try to go fishing. I never been like fishing. I'm getting a phone call somewhere. I'm gonna leave this image here in the background. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys can talk among yourselves.
So, is anyone here has a fish lens, fisheye lens, that did any experiments with it? Lemon?
I've imaged with a very short focal length lens loads of times. Loads of times.
Well, excuse my ignorance. I don't know what's short focal length. I don't know that term.
Well, that's the well, say when you get to say a 14 mil focal length lens, you're really going to start to notice quite severe barrel distortion. And yeah, I mean everything in the image is distorted. Whether it's close up or far away, or it doesn't make any difference. The distance of the target at all.
So if you've got a reference across the screen or the lens, like a string tied across the front to indicate, what you see is flat, and you see something off in the distance that appears curved, you can pretty much bet that that's accurate.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Mr. Sensible's mage balloon footage. He went about that in the correct way. You can discount barrel distortion. I mean, the other thing about barrel distortion is that there are profiles in software like Photoshop, and you tell the software, I use this camera, I use this lens, and it fixes it as well. It's really, really easy to do. But to say that the foreground is distorted with a fisheye lens and the background is not, is just total and utter horseshit.
This is the foreground is not distorted and the background is distorted. You have that backward, and that string that you hold in front of the lens to show that it's straight and true. You'd have to take that string away from the camera and see if it maintains its straight attitude, or if it goes up and down when you take it away from the lens. So because of that fallacy, I'm going to have to, yet again, reject the Glober claim.
No. Hold on. Do you have a link to any experiment because I didn't see this. I didn't see anything.
To the horizon. How about taking the string?
No. Don't ask me to do things. You say you have a conclusion, and you say it's valid. So where did you base it from?
So you were asking how far to take the string away from the camera. I was answering that before you moved on to another freaking question with whoever the hell said that. Take the string from the camera to where you're making your observation, namely the horizon. What else were you saying?
No, right. Listen. If we, flat earthers and globe earthers both agree that with a narrowish field of view, say you got a 40mm lens and a Canon DSLR, the horizon is basically flat, whether you're a globe earther or a flat earther. So that's very far away, and it's, if you use a fisheye lens or a short focal length lens, the horizon, if you take a photograph at sea level, will appear to be curved when it's not. I mean, how far away do you want it to be?
Well, the Globers are the ones saying that a horizon is a physical Earth curve. So to make sure that string from observation to the end of, from where the camera is to the end of the observation is maintaining a straight attitude in the lens, you would quite literally have to take the string from the camera all the way to the horizon and see if it maintains its straight aspect throughout the length of the observation. Otherwise, you would be begging the question and assuming that just because it looks straight close to the camera, that it will also look straight when you take it far away from the camera to the horizon.
We know that...
this is a thought experiment, not something that was really tested.
No, but we know that...
You would have to test this before you could make such a claim. Otherwise, you're begging the question.
As you are doing.
It could be that the straight line that's straight by the lens curves and distorts.
That's what you're doing now.
So you beg the question for your case. And so now we need to see how much you're begging the question.
No, there was not begging a question. There was an observation and a picture, and it was analyzed. Now you coming with a new analysis that you have to prove.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the.
We already see that lenses barrel distort increasingly further away from the lens with fisheye lenses and others. It's not that much of a logical leap, thought experiment or not, to say that it looks fine and straight close by, but barrel distorts increasingly away from the lens.
And what mechanism do you have? How does that work? What mechanism makes that happen, Lemon? Because
I don't know. I'm just a humble layperson. If I had to speculate, I would say that as you take something away from the observer, be it you or the camera, more optical information is crammed into the same visual space. So the distortion becomes more remarked because there's more optical information crammed into the same visual space, and you can notice curvature that was unnoticeable close up. That's what I would have to say, but I don't know. I'm just a layman trying to figure this stuff out.
May I have
You're
this?
pulling facts. That's what you've just admitted.
What did
May
I
I have
just
this one?
admit?
I,
Exactly.
All right, guys. Let's let Tommy Grumble have a word with Lemon here for a minute. Big shout out. Thank you for coming on. But before, I just want to say Slice Arcane have tested GoPros on video. Shout out to Slice Arcane. Tommy, you want to have a word over here? What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you. Lemon Bird. Lens distortion does not happen over distance. As a photographer with tens of thousands of photos behind me, I can tell.
That's not what we see with a fisheye lens. We see
Why do you use
increasing
fisheye?
distortion further away from the lens. And
Why do
since
you
all
always
lenses are similarly curved, sir, what you say cannot logically follow. If other lenses are similarly curved to the fisheye distorting lens with more curvature or less curvature, they would be expected to have the same distortion if the distortion is an artifact of the shape of the lens. So what you
Have a
say
look.
doesn't logically follow.
Have a look at the lens I just posted in the chat there on Discord. That's a 10mm lens. That's not a fisheye. That's a wide-angle rectilinear lens. That's not a fisheye. If I shoot a photo dead straight in the center of that lens, as marked by that yellow line on that one, where is the distortions on that line in the middle?
You would be expected to see more and more distortion as you bring it higher up and cram more and more optical
I
information
said in the
lens
center.
with greater and greater distance. Now,
I
since
said
you're at
in the
such a low
center.
elevation, sir, there's not a lot of optical information being crammed into that lens, and so it's hardly noticeable. But bring it up, say, 100,000 feet like flat earthers did with their high altitude balloon footage, and with all of that optical information crammed into your picture, there's more opportunity for more distortion. But we would have to go and look at this claim further. But as far as I can tell, you're too low
Why
to the
can't you be
ground,
honest?
and you do not have enough optical information crammed into this photo to be noticeable barrel distortion, even though it is there.
Why can't you be honest? I asked for the center of that frame. Where is the distortions? That's the lens I have used for my
Get
explorations.
higher. Get higher, and the distortion becomes more apparent.
So if I am at 22 meters, that's not very high, isn't it?
It looks like you're close to the ground.
That's not a photo. That's a picture of a
22
lens.
meters is what, 60 feet off the ground? These flat earthers are showing stuff from 100,000 feet.
I didn't post a photo. I did post how the lens distortions are on what lens I used. Now I posted a photo.
Anyway, lenses are curved, so there would be barrel distortion in any lens that you're talking about, whether it's more or less. The best lenses we appear to have are rectilinear with the least amount of distortion, and the worst are the fisheye lenses, but the distortion is still there.
Yeah, center frame of that lens. How much distortion is it? I posted 2 frames there.
Relatively little.
Yeah, so when I shoot a photo across the center of that frame, as I did with the horizon there, with a straight edge over it, how come that show a curvature of the horizon and not the board? And
As I
again,
said before, you
lens
have increasing
distortion happens
as you get
inside
further
lens. No, lens distortions is inside the lens. That's why it calls lens distortion.
Also, another problem that you have, sir, is we don't know if you're
It's not straight. Of course, not straight. Yeah.
We would need to see if you're staying level with your observation. You're talking about the center of the lens being perfectly straight from the lens to the end of the observation, but you would need a laser to check that. Otherwise, the level line may not even be a level line anymore, since effectively your level line would disappear from the lens.
Tommy,
to the
1 second.
observation.
Yeah.
1 second, Tommy. Let me read this comment by Sly about lenses. Please tell Lemon Bird that I have tested GoPros several times. The barrel distortion occurs at the lens and has nothing to do with distance from the lens. Sly Sparkane.
Hey, Sly.
That's what
Long time no see.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell to Lemon that the only thing that affect what we see through the lens is where the light hit it and in what angle.
Yeah.
So distance does not matter here. As long as it came from the same angle, it hit the lens at the same spot, it will look the same. It cannot be looked different, no
Well
matter
said.
how far that it is.
It's a collector of light, of photons. That's it. Nothing happens in front of the lens. When it hits the lens, that's where it happens.
Very important now. What people see on YouTube have nothing to do with the discussion. This is just an SD card that I had, one of the random ones, and I'm just playing some visuals in the background from over here from Clearwater, Florida. Maybe some observations that have nothing to do, just to have something in the background. I'm gonna just share the screen for another half an hour or so. I got a lot of little clips, and then after that, if anybody want to share screen or share something, I will share it. But for right now, we can just hear you. We hear you loud and clear, and I'm just sharing some visuals in the background for people on YouTube. If you guys want to see what I'm sharing, join what I'm sharing over here on Discord too.
There's no snow there, Jose.
No, it's not. This is from like a year ago or so. So this happened a while ago.
Yeah,
There's no new
okay.
videos. What I'm sharing is nothing new. It's from a year or a while back ago.
Yeah, so Lemonbird, why do you think and how can you prove or show that lens distortions happen with distance? Have you anything to back that up, please?
I already showed that with the fisheye lens. And if other lenses are similarly curved, you'd have similar distortion, just to a less extent. So we've already
Who's
said
talking
that,
about fisheye lenses?
You asked for evidence of greater distortion with greater distance. The fisheye is it. I don't know what else to tell you.
We're talking about rectilinear lenses, though. We're not talking about
Rectilinear lenses are less curved, but they're similarly curved in that they're curved lenses. So you would still have that barrel distortion effect, just to a lesser extent since it's less curved. That's it.
That's why I used the flat board.
Yeah.
And
It's
again,
just
lens
logical.
distortion
If
happens.
the curvature of the fisheye lens is leading to warp and distortion, other lenses would suffer from the same effect as long as they have the same curvature artifact, whether it be less curvature or more curvature. It's just
And it
logical.
should curve the board. It didn't.
That's because the board is
Say
close to
something,
the
please.
lens and the curvature is
No.
unnoticeable. Take it further away from the lens and try to see if it maintains that aspect, then you have a case. Otherwise, you're just begging the question and saying that it looks straight close to the lens. It will look that way far away from the lens and give a true aspect. That's not necessarily the case. You're
How
begging the
does
question.
optics in close view bend light 2 or 3 miles or kilometers ahead? Please explain.
I already explained that and you didn't process my answer. So I'm going to have to say it again and again until you do.
Yeah, please. I
More
didn't hear
optical
that.
information is going to be
I just got
focused
it.
into the lens for the same unit of visual space as you go further and further away from the lens. This will give you
Oh.
more of an opportunity to see the distortion that is unnoticeable close up, but noticeable further away. I already
Yeah, but
said
limit-
that.
There's
Please
a
sit
limit
back,
for
that's
how
my
much
response.
light a
And
camera
please
can
quit
take.
asking me the same question over and over again when I've already addressed it.
So there's a limit to how much light a camera can take before it distorts. That's new. Yeah. Again, as a photographer of 20 plus years with tens of thousands of pictures, I never see that. Sorry.
You have a piece of the puzzle, commoners and people that are bringing other information together to bear on this problem are going to have another piece of the puzzle. You're just taking photos. You might not be talking about the theory. Somebody else, like an outsider or some sort of layman or some other expert or whatever, may have another piece of the puzzle. Let's try to solve this shit together.
Yeah, and I guess
but
no one would say that lens distortions happen with distance. No one.
I have.
We already saw it with the fisheye lens
can
yet
I-
again, but you are not making the logical connections for some reason. I don't understand why, but whatever.
Can I propose a test? I'd like to propose a test.
Pushing. I think that's the problem.
Hello? Yeah, I just want to propose a test. So if I get a fisheye lens, we're going to talk about fisheye lens. We're not going to talk about rectilinear or anything. So this is the maximum distortion. And we put an image in front of that fisheye lens very close, that it occupies the whole field of view, or at least a big portion of it. And then we get the same image, but like 5 times the size. And we put it 5 times the distance. And we compare between the both of them. Lemon, are you saying that the picture that we're going to put further away is going to show a a distortion more than the picture that is closer?
That would be the theory, the hypothesis, yes. As you cram more optical information into the lens with greater distance, the
I can try
distortion
it.
would become more apparent.
Nope. Wrong.
Good.
Wrong
I have
based off of
I have the lens. I'll
I'm
do it
glad
now.
you have a hypothesis. That's good. We can test it.
All to do with, all to do with perspective, isn't
The
it,
question,
Lemon?
the
That too.
question is,
But
Lemon,
basically,
why
you're seeing a greater barrel distortion with the lens with greater and greater distance, and it's leading to fake
Now-
Earth curve.
now you gave us hypothesis. We know how to
Earth.
test it.
And
What
no
would
problem,
you
guys. If you
say-
stay to the end of the show, I will show it. I'll just get my lens and I'll do it. Just stay to the end of the show.
Great.
It's
The
been fake
question
Earth.
is, Lemon.
I'm out.
Lemon, the question is, when you presented with the evidence that there is no change, what would you say then? Would you
We'll
accept
deal with
your-
that when we go
your
there. I
hypothesis-
already believe in the flat Earth, but
Would you
we'll deal with
accept
it when we
that
get
your
there.
hypothesis was wrong?
Possibly.
Never.
I'll need to see it. But basically, you would expect greater distortion away from the lens, like you see with the fisheye lens, or with any lens, really, whether it's more curved or less curved.
Yeah,
One
you're the
question,
one.
physicist. One simple question. If someone is out there looking for the curve, why the hell should you use a fisheye lens?
Because NASA has some fakery to present to the masses.
Stop using NASA. No one uses NASA, just you.
You know full well
I-
that NASA is the main purveyor of this idea, so
Oh, shut
their
up.
fake pictures are going to be highly relevant.
I did this by myself at the coast of Norway. NASA didn't look over my
Really?
shoulders.
I'll need to
No,
see them.
no one looked over my shoulders.
I'll also need to see if you have any connections to any government agencies or anything like that.
Holy smokes.
Sir. Hey, listen. I'm a 49-year-old guy from Norway, from nowhere in Norway. The last 11 years, I've been sleeping on my couch because of my chronic fatigue syndrome. The last 5 years, I've been in social security, services because of my sickness. I did nothing except go to the coast and take a picture of the coastline with a straight board. That's it.
Okay, I'll try to
I didn't-
take a look at your pictures with an open mind and go from there.
Yeah. Except for I listened for the last night's stream just before I listened to this one, also driving. And all I can get from what you said, you will take things in consideration is, if you don't like it, it's fake.
Oh, that's all I can do. I mean, I was
Yeah,
already
sure.
deceived by the Globe one time, so I already have some trust issues. You know, teachers that I trusted, people that I trusted, you know, implied heavily that the Earth was a certain shape, and they were wrong for like 500 years, basically, of all of this heliocentric education in the institutions. There's going to get
What
that's going
kind
to
of
give you some
iPhone
trust
did they have
issues.
back then? What type
What
of
was that?
iPhone did they have back then?
Back then, they had the iPhone negative 500. It wasn't.
Yeah, so
But the
things
thing
go
is,
forward.
it's hard
We
to
have
trust.
different equipment now.
It's hard to trust in that sort of situation. So I'm going to need to take a look and go from there.
Yeah. Back then, we didn't have the equipment we have these days.
They had
Lemon
the
ne-
iPhone negative 500.
Lemon needs you to get all the way off his back about that.
All the way off my back.
Trust issues and skepticism is one thing. Total denialism is something else.
Well, are you assuming that we need to take whatever science says without a grain of salt, just trust them with this sort of religious, scientism-y faith? Are you
To be honest, I
replacing
never-
Christianity with scientism? Are you
For the first time, atheist.
replacing, fundamentalism with scientism?
For the first, I'm an atheist. I don't care about religion. Second, I really don't care much about the science part. I just do observations, and it fits the globe.
Well,
Every single time.
Mr. Gronvold, let's be clear. Even though you're an atheist, you still need to have foundational beliefs that are more or less unquestioned. Otherwise, you have to test and verify everything. I guess what I'm asking you is, instead of having a foundational faith and belief in God, is your foundational unquestionable faith now in science and whatever science dictates?
Nope.
Okay,
As I
then
said,
let's test this globe claim with some, long distance observations, lasers, logic, and other measurements, and see if this ball is there or if it is found wanting.
Let's see. This started about 4 years ago when D Marble told me the Earth is flat. After that, I went out for a check myself, and I found the globe.
Shout out to
No, I
DeMarvel. He
didn't
took a
have
spirit
anyone.
level. DeMarvel took a spirit level on the plane. He said, like, look, Orion, we're going to take off. We're going to look at the spirit level all the way. Oh, the bubble didn't go all the way to one side when I landed. Oh,
Dollar
man.
fist fight.
Shout out to DeMarvel.
So I took my equipment outside and did this all by myself without anyone looking over my shoulders. Nobody. Just
In
myself.
that case, Mr. Gronwald, I need to see the interpretation of the evidence. I need to see your evidence, and if we have the same interpretation, because you have a set of preconditions and assumptions that you take off of faith versus, say, me.
What
And
faith?
we need to compare the interpretation of the evidence.
Yeah, I showed it here in my picture. The curvature of the horizon.
And I challenged your interpretation by saying there would be increasing distortion and increasing fake curvature as you get away from the lens. So we'd have to
Except
go
that's
from
wrong.
there.
You need
Except that's
to-
what we see with the fisheye lens. And so the only person who at this point appears to be using consistent logic by saying curvature of lens, fake curvature of the land, appears to be me. Your logic appears to be a bit less consistent. So we're going to
I
have
don't
to
think so. I showed you that the photo was taken center frame of the lens, and there's no distortion center frame of the lens, and I had a straight board.
I get what you're saying, Mr. Grunwald,
But you
would
deny
need
it,
to take
and
that
you-
center line of the lens, Mr. Grunwald, and take it away from the lens effectively to make sure that that line is straight throughout the observation. Unless you can do that in this thought experiment, you may be assuming that it's straight enough, but there may be a bunch of curves that are crammed into that good enough, straight enough line close to the lens that you're not noticing as you take that same line further away from the lens.
I need to say something very important. We are having a flip-flop reveal on stream right now. So I'm going to hit play for the flip-flop reveal. Here we go. Just for people watching. Oh, there's the flip-flops. Hey, thank you. I'm done. That's it.
Can I just ask Lemonbird, do you know how barrel distortion actually works?
It bows up and down, or inverts that and bows down and up like two C's that are facing each other.
That's a pin curve
How would you define barrel distortion?
So if you take a photograph of something
I
that
asked
you
you a
know,
question. Hold on. We're not going to go through quiz time until you answer my effing question. How would you define barrel distortion?
how would I define it? So I'm asking you.
Quiz time is over until you participate equally in the conversation and answer my fucking question. How would you define barrel distortion? Go.
Let's just get this straight. I've asked you if you understand
This
what
is the
barrel.
last time, bro. After this, I will drop the call. How
Your
would
answer-
you define barrel distortion?
How do you define barrel distortion? Who want to answer that question?
My
There-
God.
There's a clue in the name, actually.
Well, it's commonly known as barrel distortion, but it isn't barrel distortion. Technically, it's
Vertical lines are barrel distorted.
No, stop. What I want to know is whether Lemonbird actually knows what barrel distortion is. So, Lemon, are you still there?
Hey,
Lennon?
let's say I need to go again. Thanks for having me on, and great show today. And
Thank
that's
you,
fine.
Tommy.
Yeah. See ya.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
So is Lemon dropped? Or what?
Lemon drop.
No, he's still here. He's still here.
No, I say lemon drops is like to make juice, right? The flavor.
Yeah. They're nice to have in your pocket, those. So if you have you take a photograph of something that you know is perfectly straight, and it goes from the bottom left of your frame right through the middle to the top right of your frame, what's going to happen to it with barrel distortion?
John Watson, we got 61 people watching. People should hit the thumbs up. 62 people watching. hit that like, gentlemen and ladies, and 738 subscribers and climbing. Thank you very much for you guys'
Cool.
support. I'm sharing some video footage in the background. It might show very laggy. What you guys see on YouTube is a little lag. So if anybody is interested in any of the clips that you see, you say, hey, Jose, you know what? At this timestamp, you can come back in the comment section and say, hey, at this timestamp, you showed something interesting. Can you send me that clip? Just holler at me on Discord, and I'll send you the original clips via Google Drive or something. Maybe one day I'm gonna start uploading these clips on their own without any context, just uploading them. And if anybody want more information, I'll give you the coordinates where I took them. I remember most of the things that I recorded here, but I just to have something in the background, as I say, because it's sharing via Google Meets and Discord is just not a smooth. You're not gonna see the 30 frames per second that is recorded and the better quality, but at least there's something to see in the background there for the audience. I'll shut up now again.
Right. So if Lemon is still here, I don't know if he is.
No, he's flounced
He's
off
not.
now.
Oh,
Well, that's-
hey, John, wait. I see Stingray. Stingray, I just see you. Check out your direct messages on Discord because I sent you the DM direct message with the clip that you asked me for. So check that out. I'll send you more information in another time. I live in Tampa Bay area. MC Toon asked me if I live in the Miami area. No, I live in the Tampa Bay area. That's a Clearwater Beach, Largo, Florida. I'm actually in Largo, Florida, but it's like 15 minutes from Clearwater Beach. I'll shut up now.
Jose, could you DM me some sunshine? Could you do that?
Oh well, it is very bright down here. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, but
it's being up there.
Yeah, fucking whatever. But so what just happened there was that I asked Lemonbird if he could tell me if he understood what barrel distortion actually was, and instead of answering, he asked me to define what barrel distortion was. And when I wouldn't let him get away with it, he fucking hung up.
Yeah.
Yep. Basically. Now, and that's after me saying, I've used shorter focal length lens with barrel distortion and processed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands probably, of images shot with barrel distorted lenses. I don't think I really need to qualify myself, to be honest. And he knew he was getting pushed into a corner, so he fucked off.
To be honest.
So.
Yep.
For it to be a lens, it's got to be curved. Any curved surface will distort the image.
Here we go.
So all lenses distort images.
Can we
It's
keep
just
quiet,
that
please?
fisheye lenses,
Brian is speaking.
It is very, very pronounced.
Right.
Yeah.
All lenses distort the image.
Right.
Yeah, I would say a lens that's designed to represent what you see in a rectilinear fashion, unless it's defective, you can produce a lens that will represent in an image what you see. Barrel distortion is just a deviation from that rectilinear rays of light that hit the sensor.
I think it's called autopilot.
Yeah.
So perhaps Brian could answer the question that I asked. If you take a photograph with a barrel distorted lens and this straight object that is straight in physical reality, it starts in the bottom left-hand corner of the photograph and it goes straight through the middle of the photograph to the top right-hand corner. What's going to happen to that with a heavily barrel distorted lens? What do you think?
I got a quick
Brian?
answer. That's my answer right there.
It would be
What?
heavily distorted.
You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
That's
It'd
right.
be perfect.
Tell him why. Tell him why he has no idea.
It's spherical distortion. It's you know the if you have a straight target that's not going through the middle of the lens, that's when it's going to suffer from spherical distortion. If it goes straight through the middle, regardless of what angle it's at, it's going to still be completely straight. If you don't understand that, then just don't bother talking about it.
Yeah, there will be.
It doesn't just distort left or right. It distorts any direction.
Well, there will be distortion. It will be straight.
Well, you get
distortion,
but it won't change.
Backpedal now. Backpedal.
No. Listen, Brian. There will be distortion, but it will be straight, still straight, but distortion in ratios. You get it?
It won't change the angle of that. It won't change the shape of that straight thing that you've photographed. It might stretch it. It will stretch it, but it's not gonna make it deviate from being a straight object, as long as it passes through the center of the lens. Is that computing, Brian?
I can't compute. Error.
Well, distort the sizes of things.
Fuck's sake.
What you say, Blue?
Information over on the side of the lens will have a smaller angular size and stuff in the middle of it. But if it's running right through, if you're talking about a line running through the center of the lens, it'll be straight. Regardless of any lens is that way. Whether it's pin cushion or barrel distortion, doesn't make any difference. Lines running directly through the center of the lens and the left to right, top to bottom, or catty corner all be straight lines.
Hey, Brian, is that you?
Oh, sorry,
Not
man.
Mike.
Sorry, let me kill them.
I'm just gonna pause this 1 second. Hold on. If you guys are seeing, hold on. For those who are seeing my screen, I didn't know that I have this very clear image of the set of buildings that I have that are like double down, big ass solid mirage. There's a bunch of birds flying and all that shit. It's this exact observation in this very same location. So I'm gonna grab the. In another day, I'll make a video comparing one day with a lot of mirage and distortion in the atmosphere with a very clear day, which is this one where we can see, kind of, the little bit of a shore and where the road is going by. We don't see any reflection. So I'm going to grab maybe a few clips in another day, and I'm going to compare those to one very refracted. When the water is very still and there's almost no wind, it's a lot of mirroring effect versus this one. I don't know. I think it's cool that I got this and I didn't even know that. There. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
This can be ground to remove those effects, though, if you're willing to pay the money. That's the point. Cheap lenses are just, a smooth elliptical curve. They've got to do special things to them, to the shape of them, to remove that distortion. But they can do it, and do it very successfully. That's why we have things called rectilinear lenses. These guys act like, those guys fiddling around with Hubble just got fucking lucky when they were able to look at the pictures and figure out what was going on and grind some special lenses to take care of the spherical aberration that had been ground into the mirror mistakenly.
Right, I've got a 1,000-pound corrector from a telescope that gives a completely flat field with a diameter of about 22 millimeters.
You say flat.
It weighs 1,000 pounds.
It costs £1,000, you deaf
Oh.
cunt.
Easy. Don't
Sorry.
star, man. We're doing all right today. Let's try not to go too crazy today, man.
But you can.
Gotta put the word thick in front of it.
Yeah, thick is okay, but the can't is a little too much, man. Just take it easy there.
But you can. It depends how wide a field you want to look at. But you can produce a completely flat field. But it's not. It's not. You don't really want to look at a small area. You want to look at a sort of wider area to include more things in the photograph.
Black lives matter.
Yeah.
Is what we're looking at actual? Is it reality? Do train tracks actually come together?
Yes, they do.
The answer's no. But when you take your 1,000-pound camera, whatever it was, it will show train tracks coming together, won't it? And we know they don't.
They get distorted.
You're
What's
not taking a picture of reality.
What's the point you're trying to make? I don't.
What we see is not reality.
What is it then?
It's an optical.
What's reality?
It is reality.
World.
It's an optical illusion that is happening in reality right now. What I got on screen right now is an optical, not an optical illusion.
Because railway
It's
tracks
practical,
do not ever come together, but they look like they do.
Right. So if you're saying that, Brian, this is something I've wondered about. If you're saying that train tracks look like they're coming together, going off in the distance, how come is it that you simultaneously suggest that crepuscular rays of the sun indicate that the sun is just above the clouds?
I make no claims about what the sun or the moon have fuck all to do with where I live. No claims whatsoever.
But it looks like crepuscular rays. It looks like they're sort of all pointing to the sun being quite close. So you take that, but now you're saying that the train tracks obviously don't converge, but it looks like they do. So which is it?
Now you're making a claim. I'm not making a claim about crepuscular rays.
All right, so you're ditching that now.
I never brought it up. You did.
Oh well. So you don't believe in that particular vein of flat Earth nonsense, no?
I will not take any observations, images as evidence. I want a physical measurement.
Unless they're from David Weiss.
And
yeah, he vouched for him, yeah.
None of you have got a physical measurement. You keep having to go to images or videos that are distorted.
So just to round this off, so you're completely behind people that say that crepuscular rays show that the sun is local, but you're backpedaling about that now, or what's your thoughts on that?
I do not make any claims about anything visual.
Right.
What we see is not reality. What
Hey,
we
just
take
made a claim.
pictures of is not reality.
Another claim.
You just made a claim.
You're making
You just
claims
made a
left,
claim.
right, and centre. And then you say I don't make claims. Make your fucking mind up.
I said I didn't make a claim about.
You just did.
I said I didn't make a claim about crepuscular rays.
Obviously, the railroad tracks aren't actually ramping upward when you're looking at them in the distance. That's the part of reality that vision does not match. They're not actually physically ramping up toward the level of the eyes. They only appear to do so. That's all that Brian's saying.
No, he's talking about the railroad tracks converging, appearing to join together in the distance. It's not about the the elevation or the altitude of the railroad tracks.
I just want to
So
say, because the
obviously-
audience, what the audience is watching right now is a sci-fi vehicle. There's a bunch of science fiction vehicles hovering over the water. There's just hovering, just floating devices and apparatus on the beach over here in Florida. It's the future. The future is now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Carry on.
Well, as Brian was saying, there's a component to vision that doesn't quite match reality. Things appear to converge, merge, and disappear in a way that they don't actually physically do.
Is it okay if I share this for Lemon? I think it might help a lot.
She can watch your screen share. I would just want to finish scrolling forward in this little SD card. It might be 2 minutes. It might be 15. So sorry, man.
I have.
You can
the
share it
test
that she can watch it, but YouTube is not going to be able to see it yet.
Hey there, Lemon.
It's your show.
I'm going to share the test that I proposed. I'm not sure if Jose can.
Not yet.
Can put it.
Cannot share any screen yet.
Yeah. So okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Few more minutes. See what I got going on here.
Stingray's got some modeling going on over here.
Yeah. This is a lens element. This element. We're looking through it on this bottom camera. Do you notice the green line? I move it up, becomes distorted. Can you see that? This is pin cushioning, by the way, not barrel distortion.
I see. I got the definition for a barrel distortion. If you guys don't like my layman's representation of it, it talks about some sort of defect in the presentation of the image that leads to concave, I think, or convex lines in the image, basically.
Yeah, so it's basically barrel distortion or pin cushioning, just like John mentioned. But I wanted to show you something else here. If I move this green line out of the way, there's a blue box here in the lens space. We can see it. Now, you can see that it is presented, and I've got a red box behind it. It's very interesting that if the red box is presented in the same 2D footprint, but obviously further away and bigger, as the blue box, they are identical. It takes the same space and the distortions are identical. This is what Blue was saying. It doesn't actually matter the distance, because the effect of a lens doesn't change with distance. It changes after the transformation into the lens. So the only thing that's important is the lens itself. That lens, and just so you know, if you use any camera today, you can go to the Adobe suite and apply and they are in XML format, so you can actually read them as well. They're the lens distortion maps. So you can take all lens distortion out of every single image for every single major camera and every single lens. It's wicked.
Oh, perfect. You can model taking the object closer to the lens and away from the lens and see if there's increasing distortion, at least in this modeling. Could you take the blue thing further and closer to the lens and away from the lens and see if there's any sort of distortion that you see when you bring it closer or further away?
No, it absolutely will, but that's not dependent.
Could you do that right now in the modeling? I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I have. That's not dependent. I mean, it's hard to tell. There is more distortion, but that's not based. The distance isn't the function of that. The angle, the area of incidence on the lens is the function of that. So if we look at the top here, for example, the top of the blue, we've got a curve. Now, if I move this up, we've got a right curve happening now on the top left. It doesn't actually matter how far this goes away. As long as it occupies the same space in the lens, we will get the same distortion, because it's a function of the incidence on the lens, not the distance of the object.
The object will take less pixels as you get further away, correct? As it reduces
Cheers for that one, Brian.
size.
Astonishing.
As it reduces in angler size.
Anglian size. That's where we are. Anglian size.
Angular size. I know what you're saying. That all the distortion is done in the lens.
Yes.
As things are further away, surely you're getting more information per pixel as things are smaller in the distance.
It's not about pixel, it's about the warping distortion. So if you look here, this green line is very close. And right up at the top here, it's entering the lens on this path that we see. That's intersecting the top. The light's hitting the lens on the surface, as we can see here. Now, it doesn't matter how far away I move this. If I intersect the lens at that same point, it illustrates the same distortion.
What sort of distance are we talking there? What you modelled it? Feet?
Oh no! The distance. The distance is arbitrary here. It doesn't really matter. This is just a pin-cushioned lens that I built. But like I say, these things are very, very well understood, and yes, there's no effects that are unknown or yet to be discovered.
Can you put that at 45 degrees? So it
Share it
goes
on YouTube now, Stingray.
from bottom left to top right, or
Yeah. Wait a sec. Let me.
now take it away. This is what Watson was asking.
What do you mean?
He was saying
that doesn't change. If it crosses the center of the lens, it doesn't change. Now, if I did it so that this is what John was saying, if I did it across to the side, yes, it does. But if any line of it crosses the center, it doesn't, because there's no distortion there, whether it be pin cushioning or barrel distortion, because that's the nature of
there is some. Look at the top left-hand corner.
Well, not a line, a volume possibly, but not a line. And this is accentuated so that you can actually see the distortion. You don't find this kind of distortion in lenses. I've made this specifically to be very distortive. Normally, you see probably that. I've actually pushed it out so that we can see like real distortion.
Can anybody hear me?
Nope.
Brian, can you hear me?
Stingray, are you presenting to YouTube?
Yes. Go to stop.
Okay. I just sent a video. I don't know if you can play it or not.
I can stop sharing, or I can.
Still uploading. Never mind.
All right. I shall stop sharing. There you go.
But Jose is not here to put me on show. You shouldn't have closed the show. Okay. Anyway, I posted a video file in the Daily Boom, showing the same picture from two distances. I made it smaller. Then I brought the camera closer, so that it occupies almost the same size on the screen. And you can see that I put both of them on layers, and I just switch between the layers. And you can see that the distortion is basically the same. It's a difference only because the orientation of my phone changed it, and you can notice it. So, Lemon, try to play the video. It's under my name, Crocs, named Lens.
Who else is gonna screen share now? Now is the time.
Okay, it's a video I posted, Jose. If you can show.
Where? Okay. A video clip. This says Lens.
Yes, this one.
All right, I got it downloaded and play it over here and screen share it.
Thank you.
1 second. All right, let's open this up. Let me pause. It is 10 seconds.
Yes, just enter.
Okay, let me set it up over here. Screen share it. Share your screen. This right here, right? Let me know when you see it. When you see it, we'll be ready to play it. I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be looping a few times. Gonna be on repeat mode. What are we looking at?
One of the images, if you look to the left side, you see some kind of a toolbox. So that's the one where I was away from the laptop screen and taking the photo. And then I shrank the image by 50%, and I got closer with my phone. I took another image. Then I overlaid them and then just did this recording.
Okay.
So you're trying to show that the lines aren't distorted with close zoom or far zoom, basically?
I'm showing that they are distorted either way, but basically the same distortion.
Because the barrel distortion versus the Earth curve is a big question in the flat Earth community. It appears that we're not getting globe Earth, we're really getting barrel distortion Earth on some level.
Okay, if you look at the red lines, all of them are passing through the center of, not exactly the center, I couldn't put it exact to the center, but the red lines, because they are passing to the center or close to the center, they are almost very straight. But the blue lines, they have curvature because they don't pass the center. Regardless to the orientation of the line, if it's passing through the center, whatever fisheye lens you have, even the extreme ones, there will be no bending or any distortion. And this is just to show a concept. It has nothing to do at this stage, has nothing to do with the globe or the flat Earth. We're just showing that fisheye lens or distortion coming from lenses is not relevant to distance.
I think it may become increasingly relevant because there isn't really such a thing as these perfect lines. I think that what we would need to do to go forward and properly solve this problem is talk about convergence zones, or these lines as the convergence zones for a bunch of infinite curves on the lens that appear to be straight enough, but appear to be, you know, more and more distorted as you get further away from the lens itself. I don't think that these perfect lines are really in the lens as much as you have a bunch of convergence zones with a bunch of infinite curves, rather, that appear to be smushed into a certain quote unquote linear zone. But I guess we'd have to go forward and explore this a bit further, because we're covering a lot of topics here about how we're even interpreting this picture properly, whether it's actually presenting to us a full view of reality or if there's some level of distortion.
Of course, there's a level of distortion, and the baseline, in very short, if anyone asks me what's barrel distortion, I'm going to tell him any line that's not crossing the center of the lens is going to show straight. Any line away from the center is going to curve away from the center. That's why they call it barrel, because it's curving away.
Well, I would say that there's not even a center of the lens per se, that there's a bunch of curves that are smushed into this quote unquote line of the lens as well, because everything that we see visually converges and merges and disappears into a zone. Lines are not preserved. Therefore, talking about the line center of the lens is a little fallacious, because that implies a line in the center of the lens that is preserved while the rest of vision is not. That's contradictory. Everything else in vision converges, merges, and disappears into a generalized zone. There aren't lines that are preserved.
No, you see it on the screen. The red lines are straight, and I have a complete video where I did it properly. So we see it. It is there. It is straight. The blue lines are not. So I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
I would also like to point out that in that bottom image, the buildings nearer to the photographer appear to be at least as, if not more, distorted than the buildings in the distance.
Yeah, I'm not showing that yet, but I actually, thank you, Crowexy. Thank you. I'm gonna I'm gonna stop screen sharing this. I'm gonna screen share. Earth is Live. Are you there? Because I got a clip of you over here that I want to share. That you shared YouTube.
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's titled "The Great Distortion Debate," and it's a 2-minute long video. I'm about to share it over here on Discord. I already got it shared for YouTube. Hold on. Okay. So click on my screen share when you guys are watching. Let me know. We'll play the stream. All right. There's 8 people already watching. I'm gonna play this clip. It's 2 minutes. If anybody have any question, comment, concern, so you let me know. Earth is Live, and we'll stop it. I'm gonna play it with audio, so let me know when to stop it.
Destroy shit, pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it.
What's up, Earthlings? Recently, Mr. Sensible did one of the most definitive experiments by anyone in this community. He sent up a balloon with 3 cameras attached to it, and with 2 straight lines as a reference in front of the camera, he was able to capture the actual curvature of the Earth. Shout out to Mr. Sensible and the Mage Project. Now, what I'm presenting in this video is something that I had done in a previous video, but I wanted to revisit just to see if maybe it was just a fluke or a trick of the lens because of some sort of distortion. Knowing what we know about barrel distortion and what it does is straight lines, any straight line that appears below the center should be concave, meaning it should bend away from the center. It is true that any picture you take with a camera will have some sort of distortion. Whether that be barrel or pincushion distortion, we can predict which way straight lines will bend depending on the position in this picture and the type of distortion. My cell phone, for instance, which is a Galaxy S20 Ultra, suffers from pincushion distortion. As you can see here, when I compress these images, the horizon which is above the center will appear concave. And when I put the horizon at the bottom of the image, it will appear convex. The opposite happens with barrel distortion. But what happens when you get the same curve in the horizon at the top, the middle, and the bottom of the picture? What lens, if any, can create this type of distortion? Or is it simply because the horizon is actually curved? I'll let you decide. Once again, thanks for watching.
Beautiful.
Don't forget to click on the link that I posted on YouTube chat box to click and open the original video from Earth is Live channel, leaving a like and leaving some feedback in the comment section. Earth is Live. Tell us more about this, and Lemon and Ryan, what do you think about this?
Well, we've already decided. B-ball can't be more than what? 500 feet above the surface. We go 100,000 feet above the surface, and there's less curvature than what B-ball is presenting. It's flat. So because of the inconsistent amount of curvature where it appears to flatten out, paradoxically, as you get higher, instead of getting more curved, we're going to have to say that this is a lens artifact that is inconsistent and varies with the lens or whatever. It's just not enough consistent curvature to go with what they're saying.
Well, I'm going to say now that lenses don't cause any type of distortion. And then you'll have to come back to me and tell me, no, there's type A, type B, type C, and then include the type that cause curvature to show in 3 positions.
Well, Gary, not Gary or whoever this is, showed a bunch of buildings that appear to be barrel distorted. He said that the closer buildings are more distorted than the further buildings, implying that it's the opposite of what I said. But as you get away from the supposed center of the lens, you have more barrel distortion and more curve. You can see as the buildings go higher, they appear to loom and curve inward as opposed to taking on a true aspect. So I don't see what you're talking about. As you get away from the center of the lens, you have more and more barrel distortion, and that would tend to occur with greater distance away from the center of the lens. So it appears to be a lens artifact that is curving stuff, leading to barrel distortion, pincushion distortion, just the distortion of the lens, as opposed to the curvature of the Earth. And to check these assumptions that the Globers are making, that somehow these lenses are giving us a full view of reality with little to no distortion, you're going to need a laser. Otherwise, you're assuming that the lines are straight next to the lens, and they're going to be straight as you get further and further away from the lens. That's a tall assumption without a laser.
I got a comment. You are presupposing that a light does not bend. But we know that we live in an atmospheric Earth where atmosphere is, and then the light bends towards the denser medium. There are the density gradients along the Earth, and you want to do a laser test when we know, understanding the behavior of light, that the light bends towards the denser medium. That's refraction. Lemon, what do you want to do
But
a laser test when we know the light bends?
it doesn't bend at 8 inches per mile squared. It's still a straight enough standard. And you're presupposing that light bends without showing what's the straight standard against which you measured the curvature of the light. So either way, you're going to have to beg the question. But most people assume that light travels more or less straight and true to the eye. Now, if you're saying that light bends, then unfortunately, the burden would be on you to show what it is bending relative to as the straight standard. If you can't provide that, then effectively, you're still begging the question either way. Both sides, flat or round, assume straight light that goes straight to the eye, more or less. So why are we even talking about this unless you can present another straight standard against which to measure this curvature of the light? If you can't provide that, then it's just baseless begging the question claim where you're saying it's bending so much we can't determine the curvature of the Earth.
You know why I tell you that the light bends? Because for hundreds of years, probably thousands of years, hundreds and thousands, maybe millions of papers and studies and analysis and experiments on light has been done that is very well understood how light behaves over here on the on Earth with the atmosphere that we live on. I don't need to question those people. I don't need to deny all the work that they have done generation after generation. I don't have to deny all of that. If you are telling me that the behavior of light is different than all those people along all the history have done, then it's your claim to back up that it doesn't behave that way, Lemon.
But Jose, this leads to questionable logic. If you're saying that light bends, the logical question is bending relative to what straight standard? If you can't answer that, then it's a baseless assertion.
We live on Earth. Earth has an atmosphere. Light bends towards the denser medium. That's the definition of refraction. We know there are density layers and the light behaves in different ways. That is very well understood. It's a tricky way for me to explain because I'm not an expert on light behavior, but I trust that all those people's generation after generation have done their work and it's very well understood. I don't need
You
to
have
deny
faith
that.
in them. And the thing is, we have to expose how the faith is well placed or poorly placed by showing the consistency or the lack of consistency that's there. I'm not an expert just like you, Jose. I'm a layman. But as a layman, whether or not I'm an expert or not, Jose, I can still test a narrative for consistency. And we have a huge red flag and a huge inconsistency if they say that light bends, but they don't provide a straight standard against which it bends, number one. Number two, Jose, when they show light bending like Mick West with the sugar water experiment, what did they do to the light? They shaped it into the form of a laser. Once you have something in a certain shape, then it can bend. Illumination all around us, Jose, has no shape to bend. That's another huge logical misstep. You're talking about light which has no shape somehow bending. That is a huge logical contradiction. So when you shape the laser, of course it's going to bend from that point after you shape it. But when you're talking about a gentle wash of illumination that has no shape, that simply fills up the medium and doesn't appear to have a shape that's bending at all, you're begging the question unless you can point to the shape of light and show that it is bending. That is a huge logical misstep on two counts, Jose. And at that point, we can't believe this narrative. It's just too inconsistent. It's too inconsistent. I'm sorry.
All right, now I'm gonna wrap up this point. That was nice. That was nice, Rand. Now, my last point is I choose to stand in the shoulders of giants and all the work that they have done. If you want to keep crawling in the ground where those giants will step on you, it is your choice, Lemonbird. I'm good where I am. Stingray, I'm going to present your screen now.
Yeah, so Lemon, I've got a very not popular piece of software called Photoshop in front of me. Not many people use it, and it's probably not very well known because if it were, it'd be under scrutiny of users and especially photographers. But I'm pretty sure all photographers haven't heard of Photoshop. Now, an amazing thing in Photoshop, and I just quickly created this grid to show you it, is its ability to take out all lens distortion on all cameras and lenses that it has a library of. So an example here is, this is one of my cameras, a Sony 7200. Now, if I go to another lens, we have a different distortion pattern. I'll go right down to something that will make a big difference here. Let me have a look. Oh, let's say 20 millimeter. I'll go to another camera and let's have a look at some of these others. So I think it stopped updating, to be honest, but give me 2 seconds. I'll go to a Nikon, not that I like it. But what this does is it's showing me, it's correcting for the actual distortion in the lens. So, what is it? Let's go to a Coolpix or whatever the hell that is. So it shows me the distortion and can take it out. And it works for, I mean, even if I went to iPhone, so if we went to Apple, and we'll see that the Apple iPhone, I don't know, X, for instance, has that much distortion on the 3.8 millimeter or 3.85 millimeter. It can just take it out. These are known things. It can take out lens distortion because the distortion is a function only at the surface of the lens and not based on distance. Therefore, you could have a square in a very distorted lens. So let's say a hugely distorted lens. And what it can do is it can take that distortion out. And you can do it for video footage as well. This is a known quantity. This is all mapped out.
I
There
don't
is
know.
nothing
I'd have
magical about
I have
this.
my doubts about how much curve correction is possible in these lenses because math relies on discrete quanta. If you tell me 1 + 1 = 2 for math or for this barrel distortion mathematical correction in your lens, then the equation is nothing unless it has a discrete quantity like 1 apple + 1 apple = 2 apples. If you have infinite amount of apples crammed into the same bushel or infinite amount of pixels or infinite amount of optical information crammed into the same space, I have a hard time believing that this curve correction can do anything beyond a certain discrete threshold where a unit is defined, kept, and mathematically manipulated for the curve correction. With infinite amount of optical information crammed into the same space, Stingray, I doubt that all curve correction can be corrected by the math beyond a certain discrete threshold.
So, besides being utterly wrong, guess what? Every photographer on Earth knows you're wrong. And for you to be correct and prove Adobe wrong, Adobe wrong, and every photographer wrong, you just have to find an image from a lens, put it in Photoshop and say, hey, look, this doesn't work. That would be so easy to do. But guess what? Not one person has ever done that. Do you know why? Because you
Because
can't.
they haven't been high enough as NASA? Because they haven't been as high as NASA? 100,000 feet in the air?
Dean, what is it correcting?
So, what do you mean?
It's correcting the lens distortion.
Yeah, so if you think about
Not
the lens...
correcting atmospheric distortion.
no, it doesn't do, no, it
No,
doesn't correct
is
atmospheric
it?
distortion.
No. So all it
Yeah,
can
you don't
do,
need to do that. So,
which is absolutely physically possible because they know what the lenses can do, but it cannot correct for atmospheric distortion.
Actually, that's wrong. That's not
Oh,
true at all.
fuck off!
Oh, Brian, you'll be amazed what they do.
You're
They
a
have
fucking idiot, man.
active fucking mirrors that in real time correct atmospheric distortions. I know it seems like science
Would it
fiction to you,
open the
but they
train
do it in
tracks up then?
telescope. Brian, they do it in
Would it
telescope.
open the fucking train tracks up, you thick cunt?
What?
Don't be a fucking moron.
No,
Brian,
it's
Brian,
not
just really quick,
distortion.
Brian,
Brian,
train tracks are not atmospheric distortion, despite what you might think, Brian. That's just
No, they're
one
not.
single aspect of perspective. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all it is. Now, in answer to your question, really quickly, it corrects lens distortion. You know, these average camera profiles here won't take out atmospherics, but luckily we don't need to on the argument that the lens creates a curvature of the Earth, which is what this is against. This categorically proves otherwise. Otherwise, you'd just be able to take an image in and say, hey, look at this. And better still, you'd be able to put an image in this that is distorted and say, hey, look, When I click on
But
this,
the thing is, Stingray, we never did try to see if we were wrong about the shape of the Earth with these lenses. We're coming at this with new eyes. And Stingray, based off of math, needing discrete quanta to mathematically manipulate before it can do anything, I doubt that there is a certain amount of lens correction that can occur beyond a certain distance in the lens. In the foreground, the curve correction is fine. In the background, it's a mess. Once you go beyond that discrete threshold, that is what I would posit in response as a possibility to explore about why the Earth
Well,
is
answer to
actually
that.
flat, but appears to be
So in
barrel
answer to that-
distorted and curved.
Yeah, let's stick on one point, Lemon. 1 point. Go for it. Just 1 point. So, in answer to that, and the reason why everything that you just said was bullshit, is you're only dealing with a pixel in an image. It doesn't matter whether that pixel was derived from something 1,000,000 miles away or 2 inches in front of the camera. That pixel and its location represent a virtual space in the lens distortion profile. All it can do is move that detail from that pixel. It doesn't matter whether it's 1,000,000 miles away or whether it came from 1 inch in front. The pixel is on the square sensor at the same location.
But the
That's
problem
what
with that,
correct.
Stingray, is we need to go back to that Apple analogy to try to simplify this and see what could be happening here. I have one apple, one pixel, added next to another apple, another pixel, and your curve correction tries to get them to basically level out in the same way. But what if in one apple, you actually are representing 50 apples in one unit of apple in this math pixel-wise, with 50 units of optical information crammed into that space. And the next apple, the second one, has 100 apples or 100 pixels or 100 units of visual optical information crammed into the same pixel. There is no way for the math to be manipulated properly, since you effectively have 2 pixels with totally different amounts of optical information within both of them that the lens is trying to, or the program is trying to curve correct. That's impossible. The conditions aren't there for what you're talking about, with differing amounts of optical information crammed into the same freaking pixel, especially as you get away from the center of the lens. The conditions just aren't there. And so whether or not I'm an expert or not, flat-carded or not, or right or not, I distrust the narrative.
Minus 4 minutes. I am screen sharing the SpaceX launch that is going to take place. Thank you, Stingray. A bunch of people still, what? You stop screen sharing. I am screen sharing the launch over here. T minus 3 minutes and some change. There you go.
I want to state something really quick. Stingray.
Wait. Leo, you are too loud, bro. Too loud. You got to do something with that.
Can I just add something here? Now I've used this this function of Photoshop hundreds and hundreds of times, and what I typically use it for is because I'm taking a panorama of the night sky. So I am shooting photographs of the stars, which I think we both agree are very, very far away. So I apply the lens distortion correction to the constellations, and it completely fixes it so that regardless of where the constellations are in the frame, how far away they are from the center of the frame, actually stitch these photographs together.
So, Mr. Watson, we need to simplify this and explore the possibility that only so much curve correction is happening principally toward the foreground, and there's less curve correction toward the background where there's bigger curvature.
All right.
T minus 2 minutes.
Excuse me, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I just want to do my closing statements before I have to log off or at least mute my microphone for the rest of the show. Please. They are, for Lemonbird, you agreed that light does not curve through the atmosphere, but you claimed that it cannot curve at 8 inches per mile squared. That means the bending of light can't give the illusion that makes the Earth curved. We have repeated the same things over and over again, and there are still no arguments for the flat Earth. Happy Groundhog's Day. Boom.
I want to say big shout out to you, the Kitsune Cavalier, and it's always good to see you hanging on in the chat box. And yeah, come back, more often and talk to us over here. It's good to see you again.
As much as I can in time. When my girlfriend needs to sleep for work, the microphone's off. Thank
It's
you,
all
Jose.
good.
Muchas gracias. Boom.
Thank you, de nada. All right, T-minus 1 minute for launch. When this is about to launch, we got to pay attention to this. You guys got 55 seconds to closing statement before the launch. Here we go. I mean, no, we're not going to wrap up the show. We're just going to watch. We are going to talk about this, how real or fake it is. Brian Mavitt, I hope you're watching the screen share. 40 seconds before lunchtime.
I will just say it's fake.
Lemon Bird just left. But I wanted to state something and agree with you on something, and it totally destroyed what Lemon Bird just said, but he left. If I have a computer monitor that's 1920 by 1080, that's 2,073,600 pixels. That's all it has. Each pixel is one pixel, not a bunch of different pixels mixed into one pixel. Lemon Bird is completely wrong. So a camera that shoots at 4K has however many pixels 4K of pixels is.
T-minus 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off.
You're way behind.
Oh, really? Yeah, what I'm watching.
I'm watching. It's 18 seconds plus already.
Oh shit! No, yeah. Well, what we're looking, looking over here is what it is. Oh yeah, right. Damn, I'm behind.
Where is it launching from?
It's launching from Vandenberg.
I was a little behind, yeah.
Because that's where the first stage is coming back down. It's coming back down at Vandenberg. In good old California.
Yeah. Is this a regular equatorial orbit?
Pass.
That's, I think it's polar orbit.
But it's military. It's a recon bird.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Tusk. Tusk say that there are like the same amount of people over here in the show, even when we don't have the diversity of the shouting and yelling and ludicrous stuff. So yeah, thank you for the feedback. Yeah, there's 50 plus people, roughly, close to 60 people watching the show today. I think it was like 65 earlier. That's great, man. Small channel, but we're catching up. We're picking up, and this is what we're gonna keep going. Doing open panels and being entertained, and hopefully more new people come in and present more good stuff. This look like real. Is this CGI? This look real?
No, it's real.
Brian Mavitt, this look real to me, man. Are you watching?
It's subjective.
Yeah. I remember watching Thunderbirds, and I thought exactly the same as a kid. Yeah.
Did you really?
We're watching this now live. This is happening live. Are you watching this now?
Did you really think that Thunderbirds was real?
Of course it was in my tiny little mind, yeah.
Really? Wow. So you've always been an idiot then? I mean, the fact that they're puppets and they've got strings and you thought they were real. Righto.
You didn't see them, did you? You get
Of course you did.
engrossed in it. You
How could
dismiss
you not? How could you not see the strings?
because it's fulfilling your fantasy. You
Really?
overlook all that.
Really? Do you?
As a
Oh,
child,
okay.
As a child, you stick with
Wow.
your fantasy.
Really? Ah, that explains a lot about you then.
It's going They were never strings. They were aerials.
Look at that, how cool it looks. Look at that, how cool,
We can
man.
see the boost back. Oh, look, here it comes.
Nico.
I mean, yeah, I'm behind, guys, on YouTube. You probably watch all this, but I am in 2 minutes, 33 seconds in the launch. And I
Oh,
can
yeah,
scroll forward, but I'm not going to do it because I'm going to miss something.
Hey,
That was
hey, where is
separation
this
right there.
launching from? Where is this
Vandenberg.
launching from?
Vandenberg.
Oh, I
There
would
you go.
say like that. The one that Jose, MC Toon got to see live. That was also a polar orbit.
Yeah, see, this is
Yeah, that was cool.
This is
Let's go then.
if you look at the horizon, you can definitely see it. It's barrel distorted
Yes.
because it looks concave.
Yes.
Looking to concave Earth.
What we'll do, we're going up there tomorrow, no? I'm not bothered.
What do you understand? Do you understand why it's concave?
Cállate, vivo. Shut up.
Well, exactly.
Brian, do you understand why? It's
Everybody,
concave?
vivo, shut up.
Sorry.
Damn it.
Missed that.
Hot mic, Brian. Hot mic.
I know what you was doing, Jose.
Yeah, I know, man.
I was trying to do it as well.
People had to talk, damn it. Interrupted something good over there. Mrs. Mabbit yelling at Brian over there. Shit.
Oh,
Oh. So I assume what I'm seeing here is also the sides of the rocket look straight because they're the lines, if you extend them, pass near the center.
Yeah.
Apparently the same thing with the grid fins.
I hate to break it to you, Brian. Sorry, mate. Thunderbirds, it wasn't real.
No, well,
John,
most of us
Stingray
realise
was
that. You're not the Stingray, though.
Stingray. Da-da-da-da-da.
Damn
Don't
right.
forget. Don't
Stand
forget
by
these.
for action. Anything can happen in the
Next half hour. Oh,
Yes. That's one thing that you, me, and my girlfriend will all agree on.
Joy Tempest and what was her name? Aquamarina. What was Tempest psychic? I can never remember his name.
Yeah, that was real. That was real.
Was it? What about Joe
Yeah.
Knight?
So is this rocket thing is going to land back down where it took off from, or is it going to be a different location?
No, it's coming back down to Vandenberg.
Okay.
It's coming down to the same base that it took off from. Obviously, not exactly the same spot, but
And it's going down at over 3,000 miles per hour.
kilometers.
33,000 miles per hour. It's coming down, and it's only 100 kilometers altitude.
It's that speed's in kilometers an hour, and it's still at the moment. It's still accelerating.
Look at that! Almost 40,000 kilometers per hour is going down.
It's 3,600 kilometers an hour.
Oh,
I want to say something, please. That everyone notice the entry burn. Once they shut down the entry burn, you watch the speed. Now the speed is increasing, okay? But
Correct.
after the entry burn, they calculated to stop the entry burn when the air is enough thick to decelerate the rocket, and that's beautiful. So
it's slowing down. It's slowing down because they shoot a little bit of fire, so that fire is slowing it down. Look at that.
No, it's still speeding
Turn
up.
the space heater on.
There you go.
3,000 miles
There's the
per
burn.
hour.
Now it will slow down.
What was
Now
pushing
watch
it
this
down at 4,000 kilometers an hour? Because that's a little bit beyond 9.8 meters per second.
2,500 kilometers per hour.
That's acceleration, Brian. That's acceleration. So it was accelerating all the time, and you could see that the speed was increasing.
And what
Now it's-
force was causing the acceleration?
The
Wait.
rocket has to accelerate past a certain
Wait, we gotta narrate this. 11 kilometers height and 1,500 kilometers per hour. So it's still going only 6 kilometers of height.
It's been drawn to the ground, Brian, by the force of love.
2 kilometers away for landing. 500 kilometers per hour.
Does it? So it's falling way beyond your 9.8 meters per second square.
All right.
No,
All right. It's gonna touch down. It's gonna touch down. It's gonna touch down. Here we go. Let's see if we can see it. Oh! Damn, that was a perfect landing. Look at that, smooth.
Now watch it blow
It's
up.
one of the coolest. Yeah, the coolest engineering feats I've ever seen. Right
Fucking
Isn't it
A.
incredible?
And actually, yeah, a disclaimer. NASA has worked on this for decades already, because I've seen old videos of NASA attempting to launch rockets, a few kilometers high and then land them back down. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but NASA used to work on all of this. They dropped they weren't successful, so Elon Musk took over whatever the technology.
If you watch the early SpaceX tests, they crashed an awful lot of them before they got it to work properly.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool as penguin piss.
Well, I say it's not new technology. I mean, it's something, new. It's successful, but it's been in the works for a long time now.
Yeah.
If I was a flat earther this would be so easy to disprove if it wasn't true. So easy.
And
my question then is: are all flat earthers just bone idle lazy bitches?
But why do you think they're flat earth?
Shout out to Dora. That was a disappointment because there was no boom. No boom in the rocket. It didn't explode. That's great.
Oh, there would have been a boom. There'd have been a sonic boom.
Yeah. That was fantastic stuff.
And surprise, surprise, they're not going to show us the second stage because it's a spy satellite.
Yeah. That was going to play in the background again.
I'd really like to hear Brian Mabbitt's full explanation for what just happened.
Oh, it's fake. It's CGI.
See, that's what gets me. To me, it's one of the coolest engineering feats I've ever seen in my life. And,
Yes.
and I don't understand. It's just beyond me why someone would even think to call it fake. I mean, it's like accepted as today's technology, and we're making progress.
Well, the SpaceX evolution was very similar to the evolution of the Apollo Saturn V and other rockets as well. The Russians had, for example. I mean, they tried, and the rockets exploded. The rockets exploded and exploded again, and eventually they found they ironed out all the problems, and they did it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Kilometers.
So, what do you think, Brian?
What you got to say, Brian?
I think it's as good, if not better, than Thunderbirds ever was.
There you go. It's just being a cunt.
They've definitely improved their techniques. Yeah.
So what about all the people, Brian? What about all the people that will have actually?
He's trolling. He's just trolling.
I'm not. I
Yes,
genuinely
you are.
know.
No, you don't. You wouldn't know genuine if it kicked you up the fucking arse.
A rocket cannot fly backwards.
What about all
Because the top of it is heavier than the fucking bottom.
What about
just one question, Brian.
Really?
Payload.
Did you weigh it?
It's
No,
got
no,
no
no,
payload.
Question. Really important question.
Bottom is heavier.
Fucking
All right, guys.
ridiculous.
Stingray has an important question.
Go on then.
Brian, if I go
Jose,
along
can
with you
pause it?
and
Can you pause it there?
wait a minute, Brian, let me just answer this one question.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pause it, and then we're gonna hear the question from Stingray, and then your point, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, Brian, I've got a question to you. If I go along with you and say, hey, there's a possibility that this is fake, and it is indeed, for all intents and purposes, fake as hell, yet the whole world is being duped, do you think a flat earther could go to that launch site and collect enough evidence to prove to the world, including all our children who we lie to, that it is indeed fake? Do you think that is within the realms of possibility if people get off their fucking ass?
No. Anyway, what I was going to say was,
Just ignore it, yeah.
when we see the video stream now, it's, I don't know, we've seemed
Right.
to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jets of smoke and coming out. I wouldn't say they're 90 degrees, but they're well over 45 degrees.
Hey, Brian, do you know what this rocket's called?
Yes, yet we're doing 3,600 kilometers an hour.
Yes. Do you know why it's called the Falcon 9?
I mean, that itself tells you.
And climbing.
Is he just going to ignore me? Do you know why it's called the Falcon 9 rocket?
Why?
Don't forget, there is air going past this rocket at over 4,000 kilometers an hour. Yet
Yes,
we've
it's
got
streamlined.
in away at 90 degrees.
It's
is
streamlined.
lunacy. It is fucking lunacy, man.
Look, he's trolling. He's got to be. No
Alright,
adult is this fucking thick.
Let me ask a question. Hold on, Brian. Brian, give me 1 second, please. Let's not lose our shit.
Absolutely.
Brian, you keep talking, man. You gotta relax for a minute. I got a question. Farmer's Boy, why is it called the Falcon 9?
Hold on, the missus wants me. Hold on.
Why is it called the Falcon 9? Guess how many engines it's got?
9.
7.
Why do you think the Saturn V was called the Saturn V?
Wow.
You see, they're not very imaginative. It's called the Falcon 9 because it's got 9 engines. The Saturn V was called the Saturn V because it had 5 F1 engines.
I want to ask Brian, why does he think that it's top heavy?
I don't know, because we were looking at the first stage coming back. The payload was attached to the second stage. Oh, he's got to be trolling. He's got to be.
Well, I'd like to say something because I deal a lot with rocket simulations, not exactly real, but it's okay. So for Falcon, for this first stage, the bottom is heavier because the engines and the top just have now basically empty tanks. It's nothing now. That's one thing. So it's heavier from the bottom. The second thing is that you have grid fins, which is like fins. So if you throw a dart, the fins will be backward. The tip will be forward. So the tip for that rocket is the engines.
So, and right now, when the rocket is like doing little movement to the side and like orientating, is because he's pushing this from the inside rocket. Is pushing these gases that it has, right? And that's what's pushing against the.
Yeah, it's not in enough. It's not in enough air, sort of aerodynamic effect. That's why it uses these little control thrusters to make adjustments.
Right.
Okay. It says it all that Brian thinks that the top of the rocket is heavier than the bottom. What the fuck is that, Brian?
I know.
What's your fucking brain on?
Farmers Boy, I'm gonna give you a fun fact. Apollo 13 had 13 engines.
Earth's flat.
No, that's not how that works.
Oh
either.
no! Damn it!
No. The rocket that launched the Apollo craft was the Saturn, and it was a Saturn V because it had 5
Saturn
F1
V.
engines.
Oh fuck!
Yes.
So it had 5 engines.
The mission.
Yes.
The mission.
The mission was Apollo 13, but the rocket was a Saturn V.
So it was the 13th attempt. The 13th attempt.
Well, it was the 13th mission. You got to remember that the first when Armstrong and Aldrin landed on the moon, that was Apollo 11. It wasn't even the first one that went to the moon. It was the first mission where they actually
Who landed on the moon? Who landed on the moon?
Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin.
Bullshit! Sorry, I got a cough.
And the third crew member, Michael Collins.
Camera shot now. What's that going past?
What is that landmass? What is this landmass?
Whatever's off California, I'm guessing, because that's where it launched from. You tell me.
Hold on, Brian. What was your question, Brian?
I was just wondering what that was going past.
This guy be like California or something.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
No, it launched from California, so that's obviously off the California coast somewhere. I don't know.
All right.
Where are we at?
Brian, you've got to realize also. I mean, this has just happened, okay? But there will be footage from bystanders that corroborate all of this as well.
He's trolling. I swear he's trolling.
No, he's
not. Circling off into the left-hand corner. It looks like a Pac-Man.
Does it? Oh, wow.
A little bit of smoke. That's a little bit of smoke that the rocket launched earlier.
Ron's probably spraying silver because he's not stupid.
We're doing 3,000. What's that? Kilometers per
hour? Yeah.
Kilometers per hour.
Over 3,000.
So what's thrusting it down at nearly 4,000 kilometers an hour?
Gravity, you fucking moron!
I thought that was 9.8 meters.
That's an acceleration. It's 9.81 meters per second. That's not velocity. Fucking twat.
Can I ask a question, please? Hello, everyone. If someone jumped from the Empire State, his speed on impact on the asphalt is going to be 9.8 meter per second square. Is that his speed at the moment of impact? So come on, Brian.
He's just playing us all for fools. He's just playing silly buggers. He's a troll of the highest order.
We don't need to keep repeating that. This is what you think now, but.
Well, I agree with him on one thing, that these speeds are crazy.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, it's very high speed. But if you calculate the height, and I studied these equations when I was like 15 or 16 in preparatory school. If they give you the height of an object and tell you and ask you what's the speed of impact, what's the time of the travel, assuming no atmospheric drag. So these things are calculatable.
I like watching the ground in relation to the retro rockets. You can see it reorient when those fire.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a cool thing, Brian. I mean, this is happening. I don't need to deny this. That the rocket launched and then it went back down. Why to deny that? It's technology, bro. We are smart. Humans are smart, bro. We can do it.
And there's hundreds of footage taken by average people shooting this thing landing. So I don't know, how could it be fake?
Yeah, so over the next couple of hours, you're going to get, the internet is going to be swamped by local people who have actually videoed this happening as well. What do you say about that, Brian?
Brian, it went from over 4,000 miles per hour falling, and now look at that, how smooth it's going to land. Look at that, Brian. On bullseye, in the bullseye. Look at that. Bullseye!
What was that that comes go back a little bit?
Yeah.
Someone comes scooting across the landing pad. There, look. What's that?
What, a bird?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Slow it. Can you slow it down now?
Yeah, let me pause it. I'm going to slow it down very slow. Very slow.
Up to the right-hand side of the landing.
Yeah, we saw it. I think it's a shadow.
On the left-hand side square?
Right-hand side.
Right.
Okay, let's see what we got. Probably a bird? Let's see.
Comes in here, look. See?
Oh, down here, the shadow. Yeah, the shadow.
It's a shadow. It's a shadow of the rocket
The
landing.
shadow of it, right.
Yeah.
Thought it was.
Actually. It's cool, man. I mean, it's cool. You gotta give it that, man.
Let's have a look at other shadows, though. Are they in the same orientation?
Oh, fuck off.
It's a shadow. It's a shadow.
It's a shadow.
Check the orientation with other shadow. Look at that perfectly flat, level horizon as well. Maybe you'll all wake up.
A black swan flew by.
It's ridiculous. I don't know how you can fucking watch it. That, to me, I've seen more thrust come out of Lee's Space Eater than he heats his unit with.
You know you could visit such a landing for yourself, right?
I don't care, mate. They are.
No, you don't care because that would prove you wrong. That is why you don't care. Just shut up, man. You're just a lunatic.
Fucking disaster of a CGI shite.
Hey, Farmer, what's the location of it?
The speed it slows down, and yet there's no thrusters. Look, it's fucking lunacy.
Funny, he calls it.
Yeah, it's called friction,
He calls it
Brian.
shite, but he calls it shite, but he's too afraid to go watch one in person.
Yeah, I would expect as it encountered increasing density that it might slow down with the internet.
Fucking
Yeah, it's resistance, big ass resistance on with the air and wind and shit.
So, Brian, I'm going to ask you again.
Don't bother, because I am not commenting.
He doesn't know anything.
Fucking nonsense.
Let's hear what he's got to
doesn't
ask.
know anything.
Let's hear what he's got to ask, Brian.
Load of fucking nonsense.
Brian, I want to entertain what John Watson has to ask,
Pitiful
man.
that you all sit there masturbating over this shite.
Right, okay. Brian, I'm asking you again. Over the next hour or so, you're going to get the internet's going to be full. Like, come on. Come on.
I want to hear it, Brian.
Nonsense.
Someone mute Brian, please.
This is
Brian.
Disneyland for adults. That's
Let
all
me
it
speak.
is. It's fucking
Let me
bullshit.
speak. Brian, over the next hour or so, the internet is going to be swamped by local people who have taken video footage of this by themselves. And it's going to confirm what we've just seen. So what do you have to say about that?
I would say I want their names and addresses, because I will check them out, because they are probably fucking NASA employees that are paid to bolster this bullshit up. There is nothing that can fucking slow down like that did with a little candle coming out the fucking. Look at that. Look at that for fucking thrust. You look completely fucking stupid.
That's it, man. Look at that, shooting a little fire, like.
Fucking nonsense.
That's it, man.
It's
How about that?
ridiculous. How can you fucking believe this shit?
How about that? You know what? We have to applaud to those engineers that came out with this technology too.
Off.
Amen.
The fucking CGI people.
CGI. Yeah, this is good. Stingray, this is good CGI, right? If it is.
They ain't. Thunderbirds used to be much more believable, especially the big fucking fat Thunderbird 3. That used to be more believable than that.
It's a good times we live in, man. Look at this technology.
It is not good times, it's deception.
Then stop decepting people.
It's complete and utter fucking nonsense.
But Brian, we got these little flaps, look, and they help orientate.
Full of fucking holes. What
We
could
got these flaps orientating so you can land in the correct bullseye.
You've got control services that are full of fucking holes. Yeah.
Brian, what's your education to make such comments?
It's fucking ridiculous. It is saddening that you believe this nonsense. It really is.
Well,
You quite like a little girl. I'm not sure what is more pathetic.
Fake.
Well, there's hundreds of witnesses and hundreds of videos, and you, the one who's saying there's a conspiracy, you have to prove now that there's a conspiracy, because average people that shoot this with every launch, there's hundreds of footage by average people posted online. Now, the only way to prove that this is fake is just ask any one of your flat earthers, go to that base, my friend, shoot the rocket when it's going up and show us that it will not land on the base. Yeah, that's it. When that is done, okay, I'm going to start believing that this is CGI.
Yeah, why is it no flat earther ever goes to film a launch or landing?
Pitching about 5 degrees, and they're
I
full
always
of
wanted
holes, and wind is coming straight through them. It's fucking ridiculous.
I always wanted to go to a launch and record, but I was too lazy to get out and do it.
But you cannot do it now. You're not flat earthers now, Jose.
At least
Yeah.
Your testimony is not.
into it.
It's not valid anymore.
Yeah.
I think
You're too much of a coward to
bottom line
learn
is
they're wrong.
the bottom line is, Brian, you should just stick to tuning stock cars and shut the fuck up.
Brian,
Really?
look the steering. Look how he's fixing the orientation with the flaps over here. Like for real, look at that. How he changed orientation with the flaps.
Hey, they're full of fucking holes, mate. They wouldn't do.
It's okay. It's okay. He still does the work. Look at that.
Ridiculous.
And this is not a small rocket. This is probably like 10-story building rocket.
It's fucking ridiculous.
By the way, the orientation is not only done by those fins, and those are fins. They are not brakes. If they are brakes, they should have smaller holes.
And then you got the legs. The legs came out so you can stand on. Like that.
Yeah.
Boom.
The orientation is done by thrust vectoring.
Oh dear. The lengths they will go to fucking keep you lot fucking happy.
Yeah, but
Good times we live in.
Plain, Brian. The braking is done by the rocket. Those perforated veins are just for steering. Obviously, they're not braking the rocket, Brian.
They're not doing fuck all.
No, they're
They're actually
Coats
channeling.
in the deception. That's all they're there for.
They're channeling. They're channeling the flow of air as it comes up through them. They're making corrections. That's how those work.
Brian, I really enjoy Brian being around. You really give a good atmosphere. Just try to relax. I mean, don't take it so hard on your nerves. Yeah, we love you, man.
I mean, at least with the Apollo and the fucking what was the other one? The fucking thing that come back. At least they put a bit of effort into it. This is just fucking bullshit, man.
Hey, farmers, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hey, I'm sorry, I had asked it before, but where is the actual location of this launch? I'm trying to find it on Google Maps.
What did
Farmers
you say?
here. Farmers left.
Does anybody know
Anybody in the
actual-
audience? If anybody in the audience have a map or a exact location, like an address where this launch took place, we want to match with Google Maps to the land masses that we see from high up. That'll be cool. So I heard it's California, but I don't know exactly where. You know, if we get a ball game, you know, at a location.
You get a live weather satellite picture, because all it had got was a scattered bit of cloud around the coast.
No, but there was we were able to see landmass really good. Remember, like, let me see.
Yeah, but they'll get that right. They'll get that off fucking Google Maps anyway, so don't worry about that. But look at the cloud.
Landscoplex 4 East.
As it comes into view, you see some skimpy clouds around the coast. Just have a look, see if you've got skimpy clouds. Have a look out your fucking window if you live there. Nonsense. It's in fact, it's beyond fucking nonsense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, what is this little piece of land in here? I bet if we look in Google Earth, we're gonna find this little landmark.
That should be South California.
You live there, don't you?
Southwest, I guess.
I don't. This is closer to Earth is Life than me. Earth is Life is in Hawaii.
Is this off the Panhandle?
That's in Vandenberg Air Force Base. Thank you, Justin Franks. Vandenberg Air Force Base.
Come on.
There you go. Earth is Life.
Do a quick Google. Vandenberg
Air Force Base. Yeah, in California. See, we're trying to get somewhere here. See if we can figure out what this little landmass is.
Hey, Brian, you still haven't answered my question, but other than say that the net deal over the next couple of hours.
That is Santa Rosa Island, says Kevin Conrad. That's Santa Rosa Island. How about that?
I mean, Brian, do you really think that that all of the locals around this location are like on NASA payroll or something? Is that what you think?
Check my screen, Jose.
Check your screen. Hold on.
Yeah, just take a look.
Yeah, I got a couple windows open here. I gotta take me time to get it.
Don't share my screen. Just look at it.
Oh, it's gonna mess up my screen share, man. Sorry, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see it. I hovered over it. Yeah, you got it.
See the islands?
Yeah, let me look it up. Santa Rosa Island. Let me switch my screen share. I got the Google map open. We're gonna find it here in real time. I'm gonna change window.
I just posted it. I just posted it in Telegram.
Mentioned to you that I am geographically illiterate. So if I can find this, anybody can.
I've got it. It's on my stream. I've got it.
What is Santa Rosa Island?
If you watch the video as the rocket goes down, you can see the formation of the roads and the buildings, like right at the launch pad, and that's exactly the picture that I posted.
It's right here.
I'm sure they would have got this all. Yeah, there's that bit of. That's what you see. They would have got.
I mean, Brian, at some point, Brian, you got to be like, yeah, this, come on, man. At some point, it's got to start to click in your mind.
I don't understand how you can believe a rocket can fucking come backwards.
Because they designed it to do so.
just
The
fucking
fuck, Brian?
falling
It's falling like
backwards.
anything
Easy.
else.
absolute fucking lunacy.
Brian, everything
the
that
entire-
goes up must go
What they
down.
can
No, that's
do
not
to
it.
your
That's not it.
minds to get you to believe complete nutter nonsense.
Are you thick stuffed, Brian?
In the words of Johnny B, it's technology.
But that wasn't it. I gotta find Santa Rosa Island.
That was it, weren't it? You were on it then.
I mean, Brian,
No,
how do you
no.
think we figured? Brian, how do you think we figured out how to ride on two wheels?
You kept doing it until you fall off.
There you go. Now we're
I've got
talking.
the airbase here. On my stream, I've
No,
got
that's
the
not
airbase.
it, though, Jose.
This is it, Brian. This is it. This
Is
is
that
it.
the landing
Brian.
pad there?
Yeah, this is it.
That's not,
Look at
that's
that.
not the
Okay, I'm
actual
gonna
wheel.
switch. I'm gonna switch my screen share. So this is what we got on screen right now. These two pieces right here. Check this out.
Oh,
Check this
okay.
shape. And now check on my screen share. I'm gonna switch screen. You don't have to rewatch. I'm just gonna switch it so you're already watching. So look at that landmass on Google Earth, and now check this out. Look what we got there. See?
Oh, yep. Bam. Boom.
That's it, right?
I thought they would have used that overlay.
Google Earth.
Utter nonsense, right, Brian?
It is.
Very
I've
nice.
never seen it so ridiculous in all my life.
Very, very nice.
Complete
I like it.
utter nonsense.
I know, man. It seems like the more and more proof, or not proof, let me not say proof, the more and more evidence we show you, the more triggers you get.
That is the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I know it's amazing. Isn't it?
Rocket cannot fly fucking backwards. It's
What
ridiculous.
the fuck, Brian? You fall. Can you not fall?
Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I mean,
Are
think
you
about
an idiot?
Brian,
when
tell
someone,
us.
think about when
I
someone
don't
jumps
want
off a
you
high
to
dive.
convince me that this shit is real. It
Brian,
is fucking
Brian.
nonsense.
Brian,
How
Brian,
is
think
your,
about when
Crowd
someone
here,
jumps off
it
a high
turns
dive
into a
feet
fucking
first.
Pac-Man. Look.
how is your
Brian, think about when some. Hold on, Shag, real quick. Think about when Brian. Think about when someone jumps off a high dive feet first.
It
Right?
is
Now
ridiculous.
imagine if you had little thrusters on the side of your feet to correct for your fall. It's kind of the same thing.
Brian, how is your drone flying backwards to Earth? I don't understand. It's designed to go up. How does it go down?
Sorry, that was a car.
Do you reverse thrust? What do you do, Brian?
A drone ain't a rocket, you fucking
What do you mean it ain't a rocket? It's designed to go up. How does it go down?
It's not a fucking rocket.
No, just tell me how it goes down,
This
Brian. That's
is
all.
lunacy.
Lunacy, right?
Lunacy.
Says a guy who believes the Earth is flat. That is lunacy.
In this nonsense, I'm sorry. There's
Wait,
probably no hope for you.
You tell me if I throw something up, I should not expect it to go back down. What's the problem, Brian? I don't get it. That it goes straight down. What's your problem with it going down?
Shout out to Big Blue.
Over 4,500 kilometers an hour, and we've got gas coming out the sides and not affected by the wind that's fucking.
Hey, I meant to say.
It's not affected by it.
Wait, I meant to say a few minutes earlier. Welcome, Oliver Oberholzer. Hello, are you new? I am new. Welcome to the show. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, how does a helicopter come into land? It comes into land by adjusting the thrust. It's not fucking hard to understand, Brian.
Oh dear.
I'm quite sure it
Mate,
is
Peter.
affected by the wind, and that's what you have the
You lot
things.
were quite intelligent people, but if
What-
you are
what-
fooled by this,
Brian,
and
why
look,
do you
we've
need
got scattered clouds around
we heard Brian.
the shoreline.
Brian?
Those
why
aren't
do you-
clouds. Those aren't the waves breaking. Those aren't clouds. Those are the waves breaking.
Waves breaking.
Yeah.
They're not moving. Surely
Oh
waves
my!
move.
Really?
Hold on, stop it. Let's look closer.
You really think these are clouds? A cloud right here in the shore. These are probably rocky, areas, and the water just breaking in there.
But wouldn't we see that all being churned up and moving? It's not moving. That's an
Probably
image.
is.
That's a stationary image.
Oh man.
Oh dear, you're not doing too well, lads.
Oh, it looks like dust
Oh,
or
it's
rain or
sad. You
something.
need this is nonsense. I'll do my best to help you get through it, but you've got to help yourself as well.
If I was as stupid as you, I would ask someone to kill me.
Oh man.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, let's not go there. Yeah.
Brian, have you seen the? You've probably seen these before, but there's people out there that use these. They're called water jet boards, and they go flying over bodies of water, lakes, over the ocean or whatever. How do you think they get back down?
Wait, I got a comment on this. Brian thinks that all of this just around the shore is just a line of clouds just around the shore right here. Puffy clouds just gathered around the shore. Oh, Brian, man.
Well, it weren't moving. That's why I
that's
thought
good
it were clouds. But now you say it could be waves. It's obviously an image.
I mean, it's not
moving.
clouds.
I'd give them the benefit of doubt that a cloud wouldn't move that fast, but waves and crashing white horses, as they're called, do move. They're not moving. That is an image.
Oh man, good time.
Do you not think
They're supposed to be?
Right.
It's breaking.
Do you not think that if you were thousands of feet in the air,
moved in
Brian,
all that time, it's
Brian.
still exactly the same.
Brian, look at here. Hold on. Let's analyze this. Look at here. Okay, let me go back just a tiny bit here, a few seconds. All right, let's look at this area right here. You see my mouse? So we got like a little line, and we got one little piece over here, one little piece over here. There's like a little hole over here in the middle. Let's look at that section. Let's look at this segment right here where my mouth is. Let's see if it moves or not.
No, it ain't
Okay.
moving. No, still
All
a
right.
hole in the middle.
Yeah, right.
hole
Still a hole in the middle, right? Yep. It changed. It changed. Even right here, look, the hawk's eye. Look at this. The eye. It looked like a hawk with a little antenna and the hawk peak right here. It changed
What
that a
is
little
it?
bit.
What are
Huh?
they? Are they waves breaking?
Those are
You know-
that's water breaking. That's got to be.
Brian.
Look at this.
Do you not think if you look at something from thousands of feet in the air, that it's going to look,
Feet in the air,
look,
are we?
look, it's going to look like it's moving really slowly.
1 kilometer. 1 kilometer in the air.
With 1
Oh, well.
kilometer.
Yeah, so I mean, like when you're coming into land in an airplane, and the cars look like they're moving really slowly, but they're going at 60 miles an hour. You know.
It's
All right, there's
come
an
on. Keep fooling
there's an
yourself,
amateur.
You can fucking wank off to this if you want.
Hey, no, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. But look,
Absolute fucking bullshit.
video is unavailable. Kevin Conrad, you shared a link that is unavailable. Let's see if it's you shared an unavailable link. Let's see if this one is good. Yeah, it's unavailable, Kevin Conrad. If anybody find an amateur video, please share it with us. This one that you shared is no good. Oh, this one is good. I found one. Amateur, but you say amateur video, but this is a NASA spaceflight.com.
20,782 views already.
Those trees where the camera is sort of zoom.
Let's see. I just want to find kind of, you know.
Video.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it is somebody that recorded on the coastline, like, you know, where MC Toon took the video that we saw the biggest camera next to it. Probably one of those biggest cameras. But it's amateur because it's not from an actual space agency, you know. All right, but look, this is the part I want to, let's see this little part right here. When the rocket is coming down from an angle, third person point of view, you know, it's not those two angles from the SpaceX. This is somebody else recording. Should be really close to them. There you go.
What happened to the previous shot? If they were amateurs, how did they?
Amateurs with a bunch of cameras. Yeah, amateurs with a bunch of cameras.
Yeah, and they've edited it all together in 80 fucking minutes. And it's
80
only
minutes,
just,
man.
wait a minute, 80 minutes? It streamed 80 minutes ago. We ain't been on for 80 fucking minutes.
Right. Wait. Now, yeah, that's a good point. This was streamed live. Oh, but he streamed this live 80 minutes ago. But look, let me see. When the stream started, how much time before the launch? That's the key. You look for, let me see, 10, 15 minutes, and the rocket is still sitting there having lunch. You see, 22 minutes, the rocket's still sitting there. So yeah. He started streaming this live, and then they got probably, the software that they got 2 or 3 cameras, amateur cameras, and they can switch between cameras. So this was streamed live. That's why they got the camera angles and changes. You see, 33 minutes after he starts streaming, the rocket hasn't launched yet. So yeah. Good. What do you think, Brian?
I think it's complete and utter fucking nonsense, and you've just fallen for the oldest trick in the world, and that's they're feeding your fucking lust for this. It's how them scammers, when they say, oh, I'm an African prince and I need to give you $20 billion, but you got to pay me $300, because it's playing on your greed. These are playing on your fantasies. That's all it is. And they know they don't have to be fucking perfect with it, because you won't even question it.
Yeah, we question it. Let's question. How did they fool MC Toon? How did they fool MC Toon, Brian? How did they fool him?
Farmers cannot take it because it's his fantasy.
For fuck's sakes, Brian. I ask you a question. How did they fool MC Toon, who stood there by the water and filmed it?
You wouldn't think he's part of the deception, would you, by any chance?
Now he must be. So everyone that will do it by themselves will automatically be part of the deception, Brian.
You all are part of the deception.
Right.
Me too.
You.
Brian, Jose too.
He'll prove.
Okay, I'm out.
I'm disappointed,
I
Brian.
think that's enough for me today.
I'm disappointed. I'm not part of any deception, man. I'm just giving you the floor so you can come in and vent with us.
Jose.
And hold on, CrowXC. And I haven't been paid today. Nobody sent me not even $5 today. What's up, CrowXC? Give us your final thoughts, brother, if you gotta go.
Yes, because I need to go. So today the Flat Earth came with a hypothesis about the amount of distortion. It should depend on the distance. And so the hypothesis, we decided to have what do you call it? The independent variable, which is the distance. And if we put the picture closer or further, according to the experiment that I proposed to Lemonbird, and he said, yes, that experiment is good. And when I showed the experiment, he still give me some word salad. So I think that's a good material for a wonderful video. I'm too lazy to do it. So if you do it, Jose, I'll be very thankful. Thank you. Boom. Bye-bye, everyone.
You still haven't got measurement of your curvature or your spin, so you can live in your fantasy land. This is nonsense, lads. And I'll tell you, and if you are being paid, you've got to start asking yourself, why are they paying me to do this? Because there's no other scenario where they do this, only in this realm.
Well, I'm not being paid, and I'm asking.
If you are being paid, you've got to start asking yourself.
Well,
do you have any evidence of anyone being paid for this?
Are they fucking
Now you hear me. Now you hear me, Brian. I'm not getting paid, and I'm asking myself, why the fuck don't they pay me for it?
Only you know that, Choi.
Why don't they pay me for it, Brian?
Otherwise, you are all
my effort, and they don't pay me for it.
Till you can prove to me otherwise.
No, that's not how it works. You make a claim, you have to put in the evidence.
But you want me to prove you that I don't have a sister?
Assume is you are all paid agents until
prove it.
You can prove to me otherwise.
Yeah.
Called accepted
Gary, I was.
Wait, okay,
I was gonna
okay,
ask.
Brian, how do I prove you? I'm not an agent.
Expect
Do I
the
bring a
word.
paper? Do I bring a paper from NASA? I'm not working for them. You can't believe NASA, right?
Worst
What kind
case
of proof?
scenario.
I'm asking what
Can
kind
you
of
get
proof do
better then?
I'm asking Brian what kind of proof I need to bring.
What type of what?
Proof. You want to prove that I'm not a shield. I don't work for
You
NASA.
do-
How
you
do I
do
prove
that.
it?
You
I'm
come up
asking
with
you.
you think you are. Put your
Brian,
real
I'm
name
asking
up
you,
there.
what proof do I need to bring?
Put your real name up there, like mine.
And that will
Maybe
prove I'm not
show
working
us,
for NASA.
show us one of your service bills. That
Where's
would
my
be
paycheck?
up there.
Where is my paycheck? Where is my money? It's my money and I need it now.
I don't know, Jose. I got my NASA check in the post today, so I'm sure it's on its
Fuck
way here.
NASA. They don't pay me.
Going to be painful for you, lads. You've been fooled. Just like them scammers fool people. You've been scammed by these people. It's going to be very painful.
No, it isn't, Brian.
You think you're on a quest. You're not. You're back
No,
in
I'm
there.
not.
That's all you're doing.
I'm not on the quest.
And they put you between us and them because you are disposable. They're not.
You're on the quest.
They,
not me,
to
Brian.
believe you me, they will fucking shoot you down in flames. 100%. You are disposable.
Brian Mabbit, I have an R t-shirt on. I'm wearing my R shirt. If you look at Discord or YouTube, you can see it. R t-shirt. It's fantastic stuff, man.
I can only see the bottom of top of it.
Yeah, but you're gonna see it in a minute. It's gonna catch up.
What's the R
Because,
stand?
you're 30 seconds behind.
What's the R stand for?
Well, R is could be what the rating is. It could be the radius of the Earth. How about that? I want it to be the radius of the Earth, so that's why
Why
it's gonna.
wouldn't you have a circle around it and not a square, though?
Well, the radius of the square. It's good stuff, man.
You know, it measures further into the corners than it does to the middle of your square, don't you?
It's good, man. What do you think about Squeaky Earth, Brian? We have an axial thing. Whenever you catch up, you're gonna catch up in a minute. You're gonna see the axial stick through the Earth. This is roughly the angle that the Earth is in real life in space.
The angle Earth is supposed to be 23.4 degrees from vertical.
So this is too much. Yeah, this is like 45 probably.
Yeah.
No, this is like 30 probably. 30 angle.
I'd say it's about 30, 35 degrees.
Yeah, about 33, man. Let's say 33, just to be safe.
33, yeah, it's got to be 33.
There you go. Hey, no timeouts.
Who made it? One of your cousins or something, was it?
I'm sorry?
Who made it? Did you have somebody make it?
No, it was just like this. Where I used to live, I used to live in an older house, and this guy had it in the yard. He had a bunch of trash and just debris and stuff. When I was gonna move, I said, like, dude, I like that globe that is halfway buried in the dirt. He said, take it. That's crap. That's just garbage. Fucking
See,
A, man.
is that a fleur-de-lis on the top?
Where? Oh yeah. It's like a little pointy arrow thingy.
Oh, it's an
It's
arrow.
like an arrow. Yeah, it's an arrow going through.
Right.
And this spot, this is the way it came out of the dirt. It's just rusty, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it wants shot blasting and powder coating.
No, because then we will start. Well, I can actually clean the whole thing and leave the little segment where it rubs against the frame, so you can get the squeak. Because I like the sound.
Yeah,
well, if you do anything with it, that bracket you've got it hanging on wants moving round about 2 inches. So then you're more or less at 23.4 degrees then.
Right.
Yeah, the squeak is proof of axial rotation.
Yeah, that's it. Brian, and actually, the earth squeaks. All our lives, the earth has been squeaking. It's so loud right now, but because we are born on earth, we don't hear it. Now, if we were born somewhere else and we come to earth, then we would hear the squeak. It's like the rotation of the earth. It's like the rotation of the earth. We don't feel the rotation because we are born in it.
Funny you should say that. I've actually heard, you heard a tinnitus. You heard a tinnitus, a noise in your ears or in your head.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon that could be the sound Earth makes.
You see? You see?
It's pronounced tinnitus.
A child.
It's pronounced tinnitus, Brian.
Tinnitus. I love it.
Tinnitus.
I love
We
it, man.
call it tinnitus over here. I don't know.
Brian Mavitt, so do you think I am still one of these guys, the agents and the plans and people that get paid? I mean, I'm here showing my face, very humble with my freaking rusty globe. I mean, do you think I'm an agent? I haven't even made $5 today. Let me open PayPal. Maybe somebody give me some money. At the end of the day.
You'll get it. I worked it out. They pay you about fucking minimum wage, which is disgusting.
Damn.
When C4 was paying you, no, since I mentioned it, that he's actually stopped now. But when he was paying you, I calculated about 35 to 40 bucks a show he was giving you, which is for a couple of 3 hours. Is probably minimum wage they pay you, which is ridiculous.
A lot of people gave me more money. There was this guy called Aaron Phase One or whatever he goes, but Aaron, he was a flat earther. He's a flat earther troll that used to hang out in Brandon's. He gave me a lot of money. He was the more money they gave me. He gave me hundreds of dollars super chats on and off. So is he a flat earther was paying me? So a flat earther was paying me then?
Yeah, well, they have agents in both camps, mate.
So all the flat earthers, you know, James Mays is a name. You might seen it because he probably go on Bevs too. He's a trucker, a black guy, a trucker, good, decent guy. He used to give me a bunch of $20 super chats every once in a while and all the time. So is he an agent too? Many people, Nathan Oakley gave me a super chat once. We got a bunch of flat earthers coming here and giving me super chats. Are they all agents then?
Yeah, I'm sure the odd person will chuck you a couple of bucks, but when somebody does it every show and it's virtually the same amount every time, I'm sorry, it puts up a red flag.
Oh, you mean like the $100 Rakia Life used to give?
Yeah, Rakia gave me Rakia a few times. I got like $200 of Rakia, maybe more. I know I got $200 of Rakia, definitely. Is he an agent?
In Nathan's show, he used to give him
but
100 at least a day.
I'm talking to me because I'm in the Globe side. Me being a Glober, Rakia gave me a few $100. Is he an agent? Is he paying me? Is he a plant? Is he one of these agents that just steering shit around? That question is legit for you, Brian. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he'll have to go on the watch list now, won't he?
Yeah, he gave me a few $100. Rakia did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Travel agent.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't remember Bev try thinking. He might have given me super chats too. Most of the people, 90% of the super chat that I used to get, it was to troll each other, to troll other people in the chat, to troll the flat earthers. The flat earthers, what they give me money is to troll others in the chat and to troll the Globers. So that's the game. It's nobody paying. It's no agency. It's nobody is being paid to do specific. It's people supporting to troll and to have fun, to enjoy. That's the key. That's not freaking working for nobody here. Shit.
Hey Brian, what's the end game for these people that are paying us agents?
You better ask them, mate. That's me. Ask them. Say, what the fuck are you paying me for?
To read comments and to troll each other.
Can't watch this because your mouth's going and I'm not. It's 20 seconds fucking behind.
No, I'm just showing my ugly mug to YouTube. It's not.
I can't put the audio on because it'll overspeak me then.
Damn. Rakia is a double agent now. Wow.
Well, I'm not saying he is, but
He might be. It wasn't $5 or $10. It was 3 digits.
he's a gambling man, though. Apparently,
Yeah, he took a gamble to give me money, man.
plays poker a lot. Big stakes poker.
Uh-oh, guys. Why are we so rude? Host is here and he haven't said a word yet.
Hoss, that is.
Hoss.
What a muted. Or she.
No, he's... You trying to say something, Hoss? We don't hear you. Fiddle with the audio, with the headphones you're using or something. All right, let's get some final thoughts. Gotta get out of here.
Boy, where you gotta go?
I gotta feed the dogs. I gotta cook for myself. I gotta do some chores around the house. Final thoughts, Brian Mabbott.
Shit, I've got to go. No, I can't. I've got to pick my granddaughter up. Later.
Peace. Bro Watson, final thoughts.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I don't have any final thoughts. Nice to be here, and I hope your little new channel grows and blossoms. That's all.
Thank you very much. And Howard Moore, I just checked my PayPal and thank you for my cut of your shield check. Here's your cut of my shield check. Thank you very much for your support, Howard Moore. Like, very, very appreciated, brother. I'll let you say your final thoughts now.
Oh no, it's good show today. Interesting combo with Lemon Bird, and it was fun going back and forth with Brian and his denial of the evidence that was put before his face. But thanks for the show, Jose.
No, I thank you, Lane. And be careful, man, with the weather. You know, it's unpredictable. So, and thank you very much for your support, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for the show.
Thanks, man. Earth is live. Your final thoughts. Uh-oh, you're probably away. Gary C.
Well, I'm glad that finally today we had the breakthrough and Lemon made had an hypothesis and prediction, which proved not to be true, but we need to look further into this, you know. Shout out to Brian Mabbott too for entertaining us. Thank you.
Yeah, man, indeed. Big thank you to Brian Mabbott. It was funny to analyze that landing on the rocket. That was fun. Let's hear from Grubus. You have final thoughts for us?
Well, my final thoughts. Well, I don't know. Like every time I listen to a flat earther, I feel a little stupider. That's my final thought.
Good times, good times. Thank you for coming. And let's check Hoss. Did you figure out your microphone? Give us your final thoughts.
I think so. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I hear you, brother. Good.
Thanks, Kitsune. That was exactly the problem. I haven't been on Discord for ages. I'm just sitting back here listening in, laughing at Brian. Pretty ridiculous and quite funny.
Good times, brother. Hopefully you can come in, more often and participate and have some fun with us too, man. Welcome.
Well, I'm isolating from my family this week because I tested positive the other day, so I've got more time than ever.
Good times, man. Just stay safe out there and take care of yourself and yours, man.
Thanks, Jose.
All right. Let's get with Steve Rorino. Final thoughts. Kitsune, you want to put a little gravy on the top on your final thoughts, if you can?
Okay, but let's not wake my girlfriend. I'll just simply say, again, we have repeated the same thing over and over. and there are still no valid arguments for the flat Earth. Happy Groundhog Day. Boom.
Boom! Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. And let me check my PP because I see that Citizen 9 gave me a little bit of some over here on PP. Thank you very much for your support, brother. I appreciate the PayPal hit. And the note says, your commission on my shield check. 1 cent for each sub today. Booms! Yeah. $7.40 for the 740 subscribers. Thank you, Citizen 9. I really do appreciate that, brother. Dude, big audience, still 50 plus people watching. Thank you very much. Please share the show. Number one, we need to get to 1,000. But number two, the most important is we need a fresh take on the topic. We need new voices. We need more people to come in that are a little less expert on the topic. I want to talk to, and people want to talk to each other when they're a little bit of a fresh and brand new, and try to pick on their brains a little bit about the science and experiments and the shape of the earth, the physics, all that stuff. We'll take it baby steps. I think it's lots of fun when that happens, when we got a new characters coming in. Earth is life. Are you back? No. Yes. No. Who did we miss? The Stingray is gone. The other Merle. All right. I need somebody to double up on final thoughts. Somebody that want to say that you forgot to say something. It's your time. I need 10 seconds so I can say goodbye to YouTube.
Yes. Looking forward to the 1,000 subscriber rebound show. Jose's account was hacked and he lost hours and hours of video footage and a lot of personal information on that. And I look forward to the 1,000 subscriber rebound show because we'll be able to open the membership back up and continue our loads of fun we have on Jose's channel.
Very good. Very well said, brother. Thank you very much again. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. Thank you for sharing, subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like if you haven't done so. Make sure that next to your subscription, the bell notification icon is on so you guys can know when we are going live. And that being said, thank you very much, everybody over here in the call. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for the PayPal, Citizen 9, Howard. Thank you, everybody. Be safe out there. Take care of each other. Jose JG out. And my last point is there any valid arguments for the flat Earth? Well, I answered that question easy. It's going to be